Here we are. It's the Packer Outright Opinion Show. It's Wednesday following the end of the season. You've heard about a lot of things. Everyone got freaked out about two things in particular, probably. Following the game, there's a whole lot more to talk about, a whole lot more things to delve into. People think they know why the Packers lost. We'll show you why they lost. You knew.
We will.
Well, I thought we were going to. Aren't we going to enlighten? Are we going to tell the truth?
I have 7 videos.
7 videos.
That are going to be way too long to show in one night, so we're not going to show them all.
F it. We'll show them all.
No, I have to go to bed. I'm crabby, and I
commitment.
don't want to even do this show right now.
That's what you say.
There's so much Packer news because I hate doing the show. I figured it out. I love football.
Yeah,
I love football. I love it
when
I love it when it's run well. I love it when an offense moves great. I love it when a defense attacks. I
like attack defense.
I love the thought of 11 dudes knowing what they're supposed to do and having to make a play work, and 11 dudes trying to smack the crap out of them and stop it. Unfortunately, we have a team full of guys who don't know what football is.
Well,
and firing your defensive coordinator isn't going to change the fact that half the guys that start for you are passive wussies.
We'll get on that. We got stuff to say. That's all part of the truth. But first, before we get to all of that, I know you don't want to hear it, but we had to do a quick tool around Wisconsin sports news because it's been crazy since the last couple of days. Number one, we'll go to Joe Barry, not renewed, not back, and we'll give more into that as we get into the Packer defensive look and all that sort of stuff. Like you said,
it was a straight up fire your butt.
Straight up fire. I thought he said not renewed.
No, he said he will not be back with the team. He was still under contract yet, apparently.
Okay, for a couple more days. They couldn't wait.
I don't know.
All right. Well, whatever. Goody's an ass. Anyway, also
it wasn't Goody who did it.
Who did it?
It's Matt LaFleur.
Matt LaFleur.
Matt LaFleur did it because he felt sorry for him. He was what we thought he was, and we let him off the hook.
No, let him wiggle off the hook.
Because he couldn't handle the fact that everybody is ripping the crap out of him constantly. I think Matt LaFleur just did it so that Joe Barry could live a life and walk outside and not be,
there you go,
tortured by walking outside his door in Green Bay.
Yeah.
That's what I think happened. I think it was just like, you know what, guy? I'm sorry, man. I know we have a bunch of guys that are wussies and don't really try hard. And I'm sorry about that. That's not my fault. That's Bruin Gutenkunst's fault. But we got to have a scapegoat. And number one, to be quite honest, you're kind of like public enemy number one. Well, 1A. And apparently Anders Carlson is public enemy 1B.
Yeah.
And we're going to take care of both you guys today because you're getting canned and we're bringing another kicker. Okay, there you go. Boom, 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 boom. Matt LaFleur.
Now all the Packer fans are happy. All their two big concerns are gone. The Packers will now.
Well, yeah, that's all of a sudden they're going to be great.
They're going to be great. But also in Wisconsin sports, God dang it, the Bucks not screwing around. Adrian Griffin out. Doc Rivers hired. Let's go.
I hate Doc Rivers because his voice is so scratchy. I can't understand half the stuff he says.
I don't care. Rivers worked. Doc Rivers somehow got a Celtics team with Paul Pierce to win a championship. Now, I know Ray Allen was there, and Ray was awesome, and Kevin Garnett's a pretty unselfish guy.
He had Ray Allen.
But he still had douchebag Paul Pierce on the team and kind of got him to play with other guys. So that was pretty good. Pretty good coaching.
He had Ray Allen.
I know.
Walter Ray Allen.
They also had to deal with Rondo as their point guard who can't score a lick or shoot the ball. So whatever.
The greatest 34 in Bucks history.
Oh,
Walter Ray Allen. Yes, because he can hit a free throw. Just like your guy, Anders Carlson, who only worries about field goals. Oh, wait. Maybe he should have worried about field goals and extra points.
Just wait.
Snap! I am fired up tonight. I'm going after you.
You just said you didn't want to do the show.
I don't want to do it. That's why. I'm going after everything now. I'm done. I'm going after everybody. I'm going after Giannis. You have a job. You make $1 gazillion. Work on your fucking free throws, you piece of shit.
And he makes the team way more, like 10 times more than that. That's definitely why they'll keep him no matter what.
Anyways, I had to swear there because
that's fine.
I'm mad at all this stuff.
Some people are
Packers should have won. Well, the Packers should have won on Saturday.
You relax. Of course they should have won, but they should have won because Deebo Samuel got knocked out of the game. That's the
Yep.
reason why. Anyway, we're gonna get that. I to finish on the Bucks.
49ers
Then
were
we'll go to
giving
that.
it to us. They were giving it to us, and we
I
were
know.
like,
I know.
nah, it's okay.
I know.
Nah, you can have it.
Lastly, before we get back to the pack, we'll finish up on the Bucks. The thing on the Bucks I've seen is everybody's like, "We miss Drew Holiday. We miss Drew Holiday."
Nah. Well,
Look, Drew Holiday, awesome dude. Drew Holiday, great guy.
defense.
Overrated defender. He's overrated defender.
Yeah, but compared to Chris Middleton and all these other guys who stink,
I get it.
that's pretty good.
But what Drew Holiday couldn't do that the Bucks needed him to do was make shots consistently. He's a streaky shooter, and in the playoffs the last couple of years, like shot so badly that he was the reason they couldn't win, to be honest. Like he was taking a lot of shots and not making that many of them. And if you're going to be that guy on the team, they need a guy who can make shots. That's why they got Dame Lillard. And the Bucks also understand that in today's NBA, like you got to score points to win. It's not about holding other teams down. It's about scoring more points and playing like defense at the key times, like coming up with a big stop or a big block or whatever, or a steal. But it's not about trying to keep teams down because these guys are way too good at shooting. And I'm sick here. Let me bust this myth. I'm sick of people saying there's no defense played in the NBA compared to what it used to be. Like, go and watch some of those old NBA games or some highlights from them. Guys weren't playing tougher defense then. They weren't that close. Guys just couldn't make these same kind of shots. These dudes are shooting from like 3 feet behind the 3-point line, further away, draining shots left and right. Like, you can't defend that. You can't. These old school dudes, they couldn't do that. The defense wasn't better back then. The offensive players are just, they've really become way more skilled and they've extended their range. And because of that, you got more ways to attack the court, attack the basket, shoot from all areas. You got way more shooters on the court at one time than you ever had back in the old days. And yeah, they've gone away from the inside game, but look, man, these dudes can shoot and score. And so don't give me this crap that the NBA, they just score a bunch of points because nobody plays defense. No, they do play defense, but there's a lot of contested shots the guys just make with hands in their face. Yes, watch it.
No, I don't care. Nobody cares. It's called Packer Outward Opinions, not Buck crap.
Shut up.
Plus, Wild Man. Hey, Wild Man. Good evening, Wild
Bucks
Man.
are my team.
Wild Man's out there.
All right.
Packer fan.
All right, we're going to get the Packers now. Dad says, good evening, boys. We'll get to the Packers in the Packer fan 1993. When the Packers have a DC that will set up our players up for success, we will be a force. Okay,
well, I don't know. I don't know, man.
Let's talk about it. Do you have video?
Let's do it. We got to do video right away.
Defensive video. And as Ben pulls up the video, I'm just going to say this, Packer fan 1993. The Packers have been drafting on the defensive side and trying to acquire defensive players for years and years and years and years. And this defense has gone through 3-4 different coordinators, and it hasn't been that much better. It hasn't been that much different, I should say, during that whole time. So the Packers don't know how to evaluate defensive talent. It cannot be just about the coordinators. They do not know how to acquire the appropriate defensive players to play defense in the NFL. Look what they did. They weren't drafting offensive players forever. They finally did in the last couple of drafts. They got great offensive players. So maybe it's just that the Packers don't know how to evaluate defensive players and they know how to evaluate offensive players. Maybe that's it.
I think we need to have two general managers. We need to have an offensive general manager and a defensive general manager.
I agree 100%. They need to turn it over to somebody else because these guys and Brian Gutekunst and Ted Thompson didn't know how to do it either. They don't know how to evaluate defensive talent. It's ridiculous.
It's ridiculous.
Lee's here. Hey, always good to make a live. Hey, Lee, good to see you. We're talking about the Packers defense, Packer fan. Everybody, Packer fan 1993, you're not alone. It's easy to blame the coordinator. But what I saw from the game was high-paid key guys who are supposed to be your core guys really kind of stinking up the joint. And partly with effort, but also they're just tentative. They're tentative, passive players on defense on the side of the ball where you should never be tentative and passive. Bottom line. All right, let's watch some video. Sorry, I'm fired up too now. Dang it.
We got Wussy D. Are you ready?
Yep, let's see it. It's up.
Let's watch some Wussy D.
Oh, my God. I don't want to watch it again. It makes me sad.
And these are things where a normal fan would watch this play and most of these plays and not see Wussy. They'd be like, oh.
We have to watch it.
Oh, shucks. All right, on this play, here's the thing. It's awesome. That's not awesome.
Mhm.
Savage is
Oh
going to
my
be
God.
aggressive. He's lined up in the slot right next to Jair. Jair is going to be passive.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So,
Like he always is.
and then Preston's going to be slow, and McDuffie's going to get blocked.
God,
So you got McDuffie getting blocked, Preston being slow, Jair being a wuss, and Savage being aggressive, but he can't tackle anybody, so it don't matter.
mm-hmm.
So let's watch what happens on this play. All right. Boom. Ball gets thrown. Ball is now
Yep.
right at the at the hash marks here. Preston Smith's looking at it like he's looking at it like, oh, there's the ball. So Preston Smith sees the ball. He knows what to do. He's going to go after Deebo Samuel here, right?
Mm-hmm.
McDuffie sees it, but he's kind of for the first guy away. Jair sees it, and he stands here and he does like a shuffle, like a dance, kind of dance move.
Does nothing. Yep.
And Savage is like, I'm going for it. And he tries to get through two guys. All right, so let's watch what happens. Look at that. Savage gets in there. He gets blocked by 11. And you look here, there's a hand on his outside here and a hand on his outside here. That's holding. They're never going to call it, but it is holding. So I can't blame Savage too much. But the fact that he was aggressive and Jair wasn't means that Deebo has all he has to do is get through here. He's got two offensive lineman blockers over here to take out McDuffie. Preston's way too slow. And now just watch. And then Savage is going to miss a tackle. But watch Jair down here. Watch how amazing he is.
Mm-hmm.
He goes backwards
look at
5 yards, 6 yards, and never gets involved in the play. And the play goes 10 yards past him where he was. Let's watch that one more time. The great Jair Alexander, who everybody says is so good.
Matt LaFleur said how he responded. Wow, he really responded after that, after the suspension. How he really loved how he responded. Wow, yeah, it's freaking amazing. What
you're
piece
looking here,
of garbage.
You got McDuffie is getting blocked by two guys. You can't. What's he gonna do? What's he gonna do? And yes, is this Kyle Juszczyk? Yes. Is he bigger than Jair? Yes, he is. But Jair is quicker and slipperier. Shove him, get off the block, and get in this hole. Slow him down because Preston is on the pursuit. But Preston's too slow. And Jair, just watch Jair again on this. Watch how he does absolutely nothing, even when the ball is right next to him. Deebo Samuel's going to be right next to him about the 30-yard line, and he just lets him go. And this play that should have been stopped back here turns into a 20-yard gain. Look at Jair. Look at him. I mean, Juszczyk falls to the ground, and Jair is still dancing with him, pretending like he's being blocked. You can't be blocked by a guy who's not even. Look, and then Juszczyk. See that? Juszczyk gave him a little hip check, like, "Hey, thanks, buddy." Okay, now let's watch this play. This is a simple, play to the flat to George Kittle. And you're going to watch our guy, Devondre Campbell.
Oh, my God.
A normal linebacker whose job is to cover the flat or cover the tight end would move sideways, keep his eyes on the quarterback or the tight end, right? And then he would be on the tight end to make sure that the pass can't be completed. What Campbell does is looks to the inside. For some reason, he looks back at his own defenders, gets spinned around 3 times. While he's not looking, Brock Purdy, who's getting pressure on him, throws it to George Kittle. And then Campbell finally realizes George Kittle has the ball. And then he even passive it. What's he said after that? So watch the great Devondre Campbell. Mm-hmm. Another high-priced piece of crap.
Veteran. Yep.
Okay, nice. So he gets his hands on him to chuck him, right? Now, maybe his job is to cover the flat in a zone, right? This is obviously a zone. Look, you got 37 zone. They're all doing this zone, right? His job is to cover the flat. Well, right now, this guy is in the flat. The only other receiver possibly that could go to this flat is 23, and he is going the other way.
Right. So there's nobody else over there. Yep.
So this guy is your job. It's a zone in the flat. You have to cover the guy who comes to your zone, Devondre Campbell. I know you're not that smart, apparently, but you've been playing the NFL long enough to know when a guy comes to your zone, there is no possible chance of any other guy coming to your zone. You cover the guy. Now watch what he does. Okay, he gets spinning around. Now look, what's he doing? What is he looking at? He has no idea where the quarterback is. He has no idea where the guy he's supposed to be covering is. I don't know what he's looking at. I mean, everybody else has got their eyes on the quarterback because they're playing zone, or they know where the guy is that's coming to their spot, right? Devondre Campbell is looking back at Darnell Savage, or I don't know. And Brock Purdy's like, well, this is easy. I'm just going to throw to Kittle over here because the guy's not even looking. Sweet. He still has no idea. What is he doing?
I don't know where he's looking.
What is he doing? Oh, there we go. Oh, okay. Now,
when are you going to get over that cough, Freddie? Jeez Louise.
I don't know. Now, Kittle has the ball. Devondre Campbell's looking at Kittle with the ball. Attack. Tackle. Go try to stop him. Please.
Lee says Campbell was frustrating out of the gate. McDuffie would have stuffed this play because he would attack the play.
Pussyfoot. First down, almost.
Tackle 9 yards downfield. That's what Devondre Campbell does. Tackles the guys 9, 10, 11 yards downfield. That's his MO.
How does that even happen?
Because he's I'm sure you have his blitz, totally unblocked blitz.
Here it is. That's right now.
Oh my God.
It's right now. Let's watch it.
Gotta play that at full speed because it is insane.
Well, it's half speed, but okay.
Totally unblocked. Why is he hopping, skipping right away? And then
he's hop skipping. Not only does he hop skip,
the quarterback's looking away from him.
The quarterback's looking away, and then he actually jukes downfield. Watch, he's going to juke downfield instead of just going to the quarterback. There he goes.
What is he doing?
I don't know. And you would say, Ben, what are you complaining about? That pass was an incomplete pass.
It should have been a sack and a turnover.
It could have been a forced fumble or a sack or a turnover or a big play. When you send a guy unblocked on a blitz, he needs to get there to make a play. And he does nothing.
And just let me say, not only was he unblocked, he's tight to the line of scrimmage. He's not way far out. The tackle squeezes down, and he has a clear, direct path to the quarterback on that play. Go get him. What are you doing? Drove me crazy.
Now,
although not surprising because it was Devondre Campbell. So I wasn't surprised.
No, this play is a 3rd down and long.
We didn't even warn anybody. Well, you kind of did. I thought we were going to talk about how positive we were. I'm really positive about the season.
I'm not positive. I'm done. Because changing the defensive coordinator does not change this stuff. They need to get rid of all these guys we're going to talk about here on this video.
Yeah.
All of them.
And I would say a bunch of the defensive coaches need to go too.
Yes. Whoever we hire as a defense coordinator needs to be able to pick anyone, any coach he wants. All of them can go. Every one of them.
Because you can't get rid of all the players, so you're going to have to get somebody that whips these guys into shape. And obviously the guys they currently have are not whipping anybody into shape and getting the most out of them because they play like a bunch of passive wussies, like you said. Keep going.
Now this play goes, are you ready for this?
No.
This is a Matt LaFleur. This is like an Aaron Rodgers special here, almost. Not quite, actually. It's the opposite of Aaron Rodgers because it attacks the middle of the field. But both guys at wide receiver do like a 2-yard in route. Okay? The guys who line up at tight ends, here and here, in the middle of the screen, both do in routes. So they go to about the first down marker, which is the, 47-yard line. Okay? And the ball's going to be thrown to the bottom guy who goes to the first down marker on the inside cut. Right behind Keyshawn Nixon, Savage here, and Valentine here. Now, as soon as Valentine sees 11 kind of go to the inside, he should immediately go cover this guy in the slot. Because Nixon is going to see 11 come in front of his face, and he's not going to be able to move. Plus, because this guy's coming to his face, and he doesn't know what's going on behind him. But the key to this is this. Let's take a look at when this ball gets thrown. Okay, right now, we got pressure from Carl Brooks, the only player who's worth a damn. The only guy who's worth a damn on this defense, Carl Brooks.
Oh, come on. A couple guys are pretty good.
No. Carl Brooks is the only one. Carl Brooks he's shoving the guy in Brock Purdy's face. Okay, right now is where the ball's getting thrown. Keyshawn Nixon's looking at it. Savage is looking at it. Valentine's looking at it. Valentine has got nobody to cover. If he's looking here, he would see 11 coming inside, 15 coming inside. Stick with the guy who's going inside. Both these guys go inside, move there, right?
Yeah.
But the bottom line is this. The only guy who tries to do anything on this play is Keyshawn.
Mm-hmm.
Savage is looking right at it. The ball's going to end up being right about at the bottom of the F. So 15 and 26 are basically the same distance away.
Go get it. He can't see it.
Probably not.
He's Savage. He doesn't know. Ugh. The thing is about Savage, everybody got super excited about him making that pick 6 last week and all that sort of stuff against Dallas. And that was it's an anomaly. It's an outlier.
No, it was Joe Barry who made that play.
Darnell, but I mean, he had to at least read something and then make the catch on the ball. He's still Darnell Savage, you guys. Like, the way he played against the 49ers is the Darnell Savage we've seen for 5 years. Okay. So you can't expect much from the guy, which is a coaching problem, which is why he shouldn't have been on the field anyway. If we had Rudy Ford in this game, we would have had more tackles made. We would have had probably that interception made. We would have had all kinds of things happening. But this coaching staff, this is why it also comes down to coaching. Like, yes, these players, but it's the wrong players. The wrong players are on the field in a bunch of spots. So the coaches, this whole defensive staff, get out of here. All of them gone. Not just Joe Barry. Everybody out. Change it all over. Go ahead.
Look at this play. The ball has been completed for a 2-yard gain to Christian McCaffrey. Now, Christian McCaffrey is an all-pro, amazing player. He really is. I'm not saying he's not. Quay Walker is 2 inches away from him. Jair Alexander is 4 feet from him. Devondre Campbell is jogging to where the ball was thrown. I want to ask you a question. Where do you think Christian McCaffrey gets tackled on this play?
I don't know.
Take a guess. Where do you think he's going to get tackled on this play?
This is the one where he gets the first down out of it, right?
Yeah.
Because Jair doesn't attack him.
Who makes the tackle?
He Quay kind of got
Quay.
a little juked, but he got carried
juked,
for a while.
But he's the only guy who actually works to make a tackle.
Yeah.
Now, Savage actually gets there and helps a little bit too.
How the hell does Savage get over there before Jair does anything?
Savage was attacking in this game. He just can't tackle.
God.
He's just a bad player. But he was at least trying. So I'll give him that because he knows his contract's up. So he's got to try to make some money.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Quay got juked. That's right.
So Quay tries to grab.
But if Campbell wasn't pissing around, he should be
That's right. Campbell should be there almost by now. But he's pissing around and waiting for Quay to make the tackle. Jair is pissing around. He hasn't moved an inch. He just keeps his feet shuffling back and forth and not doing anything.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Not aggressive. Remember how Matt LaFleur said he wants 11 guys to the ball, 11 guys to the ball, 11 guys to the ball. Well, I can tell you right now, Jair and frickin' Campbell don't know what the hell that means because they never do it.
And somehow Jair still doesn't even get in on it.
No. Jair is frickin' useless. He's frickin' useless. I'm tired of hearing how good he is. I'm tired of everybody saying how great he is. He's not.
He's terrible, actually. He's really not good. He's not even good at covering people anymore. So I don't know what you want from him, but you paid him a lot of money and you're getting pretty much no return on that. Look at that.
Nothing.
Nothing.
That's not even Christian McCaffrey.
Do nothing.
That's 15. Who the hell's 15?
Jennings or what's his name? Something like that.
Yeah, it's not even it's like a number 4 receiver on the team.
The guy he's not nearly as good as Greg Jennings either. He's just some other
Let's
Jennings.
go. Let's watch Devondre Campbell. Everybody watch Devondre Campbell. And now I want to express, this is half speed. But watch the way his upright body position. Like, look at Quay. Quay is attacking. Look at, he's like moving toward the ball, right? His head's forward.
Mm-hmm.
Just everybody look at Devondre Campbell's body language during this play.
Ball's gone. He sees it.
He slows down, upright,
around.
dancing around, pissing around. Dancing around and pissing around. Is that Joe Barry's fault? But Joe Barry gets canned. Now, I agree with it, so I'm not upset about it.
You
But
seem to be a little upset.
now,
Can I point out, maybe you tell me after watching the film, maybe you show me something else. But in watching the game, it appeared to me that Kenny Clark was playing hard and
Kenny
had
Clark looked great.
a lot more pursuit than I've seen him have in a lot of games.
The defensive line did really good. The only problem, like I was watching, Devontae Wyatt was getting off the block so fast, and then he would miss the tackle every time. Now, it was a lot of times it was Christian McCaffrey who made him miss.
Yeah.
But he was missing tackles left and right. But then he'd school the guy in front of him. Like he'd hold him off with one arm, shed the block, and then go to tackle McCaffrey and then miss.
And I know Gary didn't have sacks again and all that, but I felt like he was at least pursuing and pretty active.
Yeah.
Okay. We know Carl Brooks was good. I thought
Carl Brooks, he only played 15 snaps in this game.
I know. Why was there less Carl Brooks in this game?
Every time he was in there, he made a play. Like I swear to God, like 15 plays he made in this game.
That's why, to me, after the game, that's why I was like, the coaches lost this game. And a lot of it was they didn't have the right players in. Like, Carl Brooks has been playing dynamite the last few weeks. And all of a sudden in this game, we're seeing more Colby Wooden and this other stuff and not enough Carl Brooks. Why? Carl Brooks was awesome. Get his ass on the field. Just ridiculous to me. I didn't get it at all.
I don't know.
Same thing with the safeties. Same thing. It's just same thing with the corners. If anybody thinks Carrington Valentine has got a bright future, he looks terrible. He can't change direction. He gets spun around. He's not good at moving laterally. Like, there's a reason he was a 7th round pick. It's anyway, whatever. Go on. What else you got?
All right, let's watch. There's two guys we got to watch on this play. On the very bottom of the screen, close to the number 50 yard marker, is Keyshawn Nixon. He's going to bust his butt, get past the first guy in front of him, and then get blocked by Juszczyk, who holds him and almost tackles him, and they don't call it, which is bullshit. The other guy is Devondre Campbell, who's at the F in the SF in the middle of the field. I'm circling him right now. Hopefully you can see it. Yep. Nobody blocks him. There's offensive lineman here. He's like, it's Devondre Campbell. We're good. He moves on to try to get somebody else. Okay, he takes out Quay Walker, or maybe Kittle takes out Quay Walker. I'm not sure who takes out what. But Devontae Wyatt gets over there. And I think he makes a tackle on this, even though he's way that far over here. And Gary, of course, has no idea where the ball is. He's going to the quarterback. He hasn't even turned around to see the ball's gone. Right? He doesn't know. Because he's, Zadarius Smith disciple. But for right now, we're going to watch Devondre Campbell here and watch his pathetic pursuit of Christian McCaffrey, who, when nobody blocks him. And this is half speed. There he is, jogging, right? And here's Devontae Wyatt. Devontae Wyatt gave him over here, and he's almost there already. And he weighs, like 400 pounds more. If you look down here, Keyshawn Nixon just got grabbed from behind by Juszczyk because he beat Juszczyk.
He attacked the play.
And Juszczyk pulls him. Right?
Yep.
And 64 blocks nobody. Quay Walker's getting blocked. And then, of course, you got Savage over here who's, look at him. He's hit on his heels, which means he stopped pursuing and stopped attacking.
There's nobody blocking you. Go get it, man.
Okay, now Keyshawn finally gets off the block, and McCaffrey's right there. So look at this. I mean, this should be you got Devondre Campbell. You got McCaffrey. Look over here. This guy's on block. This guy's on block. This guy's on block. Now, you got 64 is shoving Devontae Wyatt in the back, which is a penalty, but not called. So, what do you think is going to happen on this play, right? This should be a tackle for a loss, right?
Just hold on. Look up at the opposite side by the 40.
Jair
is still with. Why?
He don't care.
Why
he doesn't cover his guy.
Because what if the guy breaks out of that? You could cut him off and prevent a touchdown if you're at least pursuing down here as like a safety valve. Just give me come on. Okay.
Well, let's look at our defensive leaders on the defensive line too.
Right.
Upright standing, not doing anything. Upright standing, not doing anything. Upright standing, not doing anything. Now, Kenny Clark worked his ass off in this game, and he knows he's not fast enough to get over there and make a play. So I don't blame him for not trying.
Yeah. But
Rashawn Gary, I don't know. Maybe pursue a little bit, guy. Maybe.
I mean, Jair had all that time to be making.
I'm not worried about Jair. He's what is he going to do? He ain't going to tackle nobody.
Yeah.
What do you think happens here? Look at this. You got 3 Packers. You got
Should
3
be-
unblocked Packers.
Should be able to close and cut him off and get him for.
All right, let's see what happens here.
A nothing burger here.
Well, there you go. Keyshawn
Campbell
misses.
trips up.
Campbell trips over him because he was pussyfooting around, right? Now, and then you got Wyatt's pursuing, and we got Carrington Valentine one-on-one with Christian McCaffrey.
Ben, you're gonna have to. You're gonna have to lay off all the heavy heat here because everybody wants to be positive for a little bit.
No, because it doesn't matter. I'm trying to get this through to everybody.
Okay.
It doesn't matter who we get at defensive coordinator unless they make the proper changes. Unless they let these guys go.
I agree.
They need to let Devondre Campbell, Savage, freaking Gary needs to pick up his shit because he's making a hell of a lot of money for what he's doing nothing.
Yep.
And Jair needs to either be gone or waking up, and I don't know. And I know he had some weird tweet yesterday, and everybody's like, oh, Jair, oh. He can't go anywhere. He's making so much money, there's no way to trade him. There's no way they could trade him.
He had a weird tweet yesterday?
Yeah, it was a diva tweet. Aaron Rodgers type tweet.
Jesus, just get rid of his ass. I don't even care how much it costs on the cap. Just get rid of him. That's a ridiculous gain. And Quay's got to be the guy. Quay and Devontae Wyatt got to be the
Devontae Wyatt made that tackle.
Jesus Christ.
I think it's the same play.
It probably is. So I'm gonna look. There's some people that want to be positive. We understand it. And
okay, hold on.
I will tell people that I was very positive during this game and after this game. But yeah, Carrington Valentine, Savage, nobody blocking you. Get over there. Jonathan Owens got to throw his hip in there, and Quay's ultimately got to tackle him again. Jesus Christ. Quay Walker. Oh, God. No, 0. I don't think Belichick is going to be brought in for DC. That's not happening for the Packers. Doubtful. It'd be nice because he might be able to actually whip some guys into shape here, but whatever.
Now, this is Joe Barry. Let's take a look at what's going on here. Oops. This is like 3rd and 2 or so. It's like the first down marker is like the 39 or the 40-yard line. And Jair is playing 8 yards off. But at least Carrington Valentine's up close. And he's going to have the amazing, are you ready for this? 3-man rush on 3rd and 3 with the Kenny Clark drop back in coverage play. I'm not kidding.
If you drop Wyatt back, I could see because at least he can cover some ground. But Kenny Clark, come on, what is he doing?
Well, he hit Kittle and knocked him a little bit. That actually works pretty good.
Yeah, that's better.
But it's 3rd and 3. The ball's already gone. You know why? Because 15's doing out route. Jair's freaking playing 8 yards off. So it doesn't matter that Kenny Clark's in coverage. It doesn't matter that any of these guys are anywhere.
And Jair
because the great Jair Alexander is playing 8 yards off.
He can't close. He doesn't make plays on the ball.
Hey, guess what? It's a first down. 3rd and 2.
Shocker.
3rd and 3. 3rd and 3, we do a 3-man rush with a Kenny Clark drop back in coverage with Jair 8 yards off. Now, was it Joe Barry who called Jair to be 8 yards off? I don't know.
Was he supposed to be up like Carrington Valentine was?
I don't know. But this is a scheme thing, right? This is scheme.
Scheme or the player not executing the scheme?
Well, that too. It could be
doing his own thing, which he's been known to do.
And I'm sorry. I'm sorry to be a jerk and to be negative, and everybody's like, hey, don't be negative. This is the thing. You can be all happy, and everybody can be great about how Joe Barry's gone, right? Oh, Joe Barry's gone. Well, you know what? We had the same thing when we had, Pettin's gone. Oh, this guy's gone, this guy's gone. This guy's gone. And then everybody's speculating, who could it be? Oh, my God, it could be. They could get Bill Belichick. They could get Mike Vrabel. They could get, oh, my God, Mike Zimmer. They could get
Zimmer.
Oh, my God. They could get Rex Bryan for ESPN. And oh, my God. No. Matt LaFleur's not going to get any of those guys. Are you kidding me? It's Matt LaFleur. All those guys would take over the team from him. He's not man enough to have a defensive coordinator who's got more of a personality than him. He isn't.
He wants a putz?
Probably.
Is he going to get, what's his name?
He's going to get Brandon Staley.
Brandon Staley.
Some fucking Yahoo guy who stinks. And then everybody's going to be like, oh, what the? And then we're going to look at the same crap again next year.
I hope not.
Al Harris, everybody's like, Al Harris. Al Harris doesn't even know how to call a defense. He doesn't know how to put a defensive scheme together. All he does is teach cornerbacks.
Oh,
all these
Zero's
dumb
got
Packer fans are like, Al Harris, he should be defensive coordinator because he's Al Harris.
Zero wants Leroy Butler for DC.
No.
Leroy
Butler never put a scheme. No, if you want
He
Leroy
should
Butler
coach-
to show up
he should
and teach
coach
the
the
safeties how to
safety.
play safety, I
Well,
will
he-
gladly. He could hire him as a safety coach for sure.
Well, he could probably teach the corners too. Just have him defensive backs coach. I'm good with that. He'd be good at it. Lee likes Zimmer like me.
I like Zimmer. I like Zimmer too.
Because he'd kick some guys in the butt.
Do you
That's
think
what
Matt
I'd like
LaFleur would
more.
hire a guy who's pricklier than him? Who's
He's
tougher
pricklier,
than
but
him?
he's not that talkative or like
I understand, but let me ask you,
demonstrative in
what happened? What happened when he hired Rich Bisaccia?
oh yeah, well,
All the players loved
Overshadowed.
Rich Bisaccia. Aaron Rodgers, when they were asked, what makes a good head coach, Aaron Rodgers,
mhm.
he just said, Rich Bisaccia would make a good head coach. He didn't say anything about Matt LaFleur. And then when they asked him, when Pat McAfee finally asked him, well, what about Matt LaFleur? He's like, oh, Matt LaFleur's a grinder. He's a grinder.
Yeah, grinder.
But when they asked him what makes a good head coach, now, obviously, Aaron Rodgers doesn't know how to put a team together. He told the Jets to put, Alan Lazard and Randall Cobb and all these, and
Just like
Boyle.
he ruined his Jeopardy shot. He also just ruined his shot to be a GM one day because it proved he doesn't know how to evaluate
he's
talent.
done. Everybody now, this has been the best year for us Aaron Rodgers haters because now everybody hates him, so it's great. But I'm trying not to be a jerk. What I'm trying to say is this: the problem is not just the system. The problem is a lot of these high-priced players. Now, Savage's contract is up. Hopefully, he's
Gone.
gone.
See ya.
Campbell is pathetic. Hopefully,
Get
he's
him
gone.
out.
Jair is a piece of crap. Oh, he ain't gonna be gone.
Move him somehow.
He ain't gonna be gone. He has potential to maybe be good. I don't think so.
I don't think so anymore. I don't think so.
And-
I thought maybe he did for a while, but I don't even think it's there anymore. He doesn't care enough.
I know.
And
The
that's
other
the biggest
problems are
problem.
the ability to pursue and make a play.
Mhm.
Right?
Yeah.
Preston Smith, Rashawn Gary, Kenny Clark. They don't have the ability to pursue and make a play. Now, they may not be trying, as we just saw in the video here, where Devontae Wyatt was the only guy who recognized that the ball was gone and then tried to make a play and then ended up making the tackle because everybody else can't tackle, even though he couldn't tackle Christian McCaffrey most of the time in this game because I watched him play awesome and then miss a tackle like 5 times. It was crazy because I was trying to put a Devontae because he made the first play I saw where he shoved off the guy, tackled him in the backfield, and I was like, oh, Devontae Wyatt. And I saved that play and I was like, ooh, this is going to be a Devontae Wyatt game. I could tell already.
Mhm.
And the next play happened, and I watched him beat the guy, throw him off the block, and swallow Christian McCaffrey. And then Christian McCaffrey squirted away and got like 6 yards. And I was like, wait a minute. Then I watched another play where Devontae Wyatt split a double team, got to the backfield, reached out to grab Christian McCaffrey, and Christian McCaffrey ran right through his legs or through his arms, and Wyatt fell on his face. And I was like, oh my God. And then there's another play just like it. And I was like, no, Devontae Wyatt. I liked you. I wanted them to draft you. What are you doing? You're beating your guy, and then you're missing the tackle. Now, it's Christian McCaffrey. He's really good. I understand.
Zero.
These guys need to play better.
Look, Lee points out that Zimmer would go full Ben on these guys.
I would.
You probably
I would love to be defense coordinator. I would be yelling at them. They'd all beat the crap out of me. I'd probably be dead because they're all way monstrous and bigger than me.
We'll go into this comment in a second, but I did want to point out, okay, some positive things, right? Zero says, and I will say this too, for the first time in a while, I was proud of the Packers after a playoff loss. And that's because it wasn't your typical get your ass kicked or give up loss. It was, hey, these guys were trying the whole time, at least in general.
Yeah,
most
but
of the guys were. And they should have won.
Reason why they had a chance.
What is the reason they had a chance? Because
Debo got hurt.
Yeah.
Brock Purdy was off the whole.
Well, that was
first
one play
3
where
quarters.
Jair got tough and he hit him in the head with his helmet.
No, that was George Kittle. I have that play. You want to watch it?
Oh, okay.
It's amazing how tough Jair is when there's like 5 guys around him and the guy already gets 35 yards and then he gets tough trying to tackle him after he already got 35, 25, 30 yards.
I was hoping Jair would take out more guys with concussions by hitting him in the head if that's what he wants to do. I guess that's at least something of value if you're going to like get him knocked out of the game. And how about that is Probably one of the biggest factors in the whole game that nobody talked about was, and this leads into my beef, so maybe I should wait on it. But it was the Zach Tom injury. Zach Tom going out
That really
killed
sucked.
us. It killed us
because Yash is definitely not a top 10
Yash
offensive
was
lineman.
terrible.
There was a guy a couple years ago who said that Yash was a top 10 offensive lineman in the NFL. I don't remember who that guy was. Oh, yeah, it was you. You're an idiot.
I did, and I'm pissed. I'm pissed about Yash.
Yash played terrible.
He was awful. So here we go. We do some of our stuff. It's time right now. I'm going to do it.
Man, I got a beef to pick with you.
You want some beef or what?
Yo, what's your beef?
Come on, man.
Hate having beefs. I hate having beef sometimes when it comes to the Packers. But god dang it. My beef is this. My beef is I was wrong. My beef is players that I believed in, that I stuck up for, that I went to bat for, played like garbage in this game and were part of the reason we lost. And two of them in particular were Yash and the other one, Anders. Anders, I was on your camp all year long. All year long, Anders. I was on your camp, man. I was telling everybody, relax. He's going to be fine. I was saying, hey, he's a rookie. He's okay. Talked about how your field goal percentage was higher during the season than Mason Crosby in his rookie season. Like all this stuff. And you blew it when we needed you. You blew it. Now, your coach blew it earlier in the game when he went for it with the tush push on 4th down, which is dumb as hell. And the Packers don't do the tush push. Hand the ball off to Aaron Jones, do something that makes sense, or just kick the field goal and try it. Now, but we needed you as a makeable kick. You're a field goal kicker in the NFL. You need to make a 41-yard kick. Bottom line. You need to make it. That's not the reason the Packers lost the game, but it was one of the reasons that they lost the game. And Zach Tom's injury, you've kept Yash on this team all this time. All this time. A guy who 2 years ago played really well at left tackle. He shut down Nick Bosa that season at left tackle. He went against some of the top pass rushers in the NFL and held his own at left tackle that season. He's a physical freak. He is a monster. He has muscles all over the place. He's big enough. He's fast enough. He's athletic enough. He's strong enough. He just doesn't have an aggressive mentality or mindset. So he gets his ass whipped when people come at him or they try to beat him inside or they bull rush him and he plays like a putz. And I stood up for him and I thought he was going to be really good and he let me down. So my beef is that I believed in Yash Nyman and I believed in Anders Carlson, and they both let me down in this game when this team needed them most. And either one of those guys does their job in this game, the Packers could have won it and could be playing this weekend at Detroit. So that's my beef for this week.
That's really sad. But there's a lot more that happened than that.
I know. That all that Rick says, I was still very positive after this game, and Rick points out it was a game they could have and should have won. Yes, but they showed they can hang with top team in the league. It was fun to watch them play and not watch AR cave into the pressure, which was also nice to not watch a quarterback who just gave up. Now, we still don't know why Jordan Love threw the pass he threw and forced it when he'd been playing so disciplined and had time and downs. It's inexplicable. I was shocked by that play. I don't know how you felt.
I was flabbergasted.
I was just like, what are you haven't done? This is not who you bet. This is who you were your first year when we saw you get pressure and you just like, and throw the ball.
Yeah, it was.
But we've seen this guy just be like, hey, I'm going to make the right read. I'm going to make the right play here. He was outside the pocket. It's simple in the NFL, right? You're outside the pocket. You can throw the ball away. You don't have to throw it to anybody. Just throw it away. Throw it away. Go to the next play. That was I was stunned when that's how it ended. I mean, it was a great pick by Greenlaw. You know, The ball was so underthrown. He had to make the diving interception. It was a great play. But damn, that is not how I thought the game was going to end for the Packers. All right, what's your next video? I'll look at comments here real quick. It says, I will say watching Greenlaw and Warner play was pretty awesome. Reminded me of watching Suggs and Ray Lewis. Yeah, I mean, those guys fly around. Those guys play hard. They're fast, and they fly around. Now, Greenlaw is a moron after he catches the pick or runs around the ball
Yeah, I don't know
forever.
what he's
I don't know
doing.
what the hell that guy's doing. Dude, the Packers,
He's not smart, but he's aggressive.
if they punch the ball out there, like, what are you doing? Yeah, I mean, look, there were options. I don't like the play call, first of all, that they had when Jordan Love threw the pick, but I also the decision,
No.
like, anyway.
You can't blame the play call.
Well, I wish there would have been somebody out in the flat, or there would have been somebody coming across or something, but everybody was downfield, like super downfield. So
they had less than a minute left.
But they had 2 timeouts yet.
I know, but they had to get in field goal range. So they're trying to I have the play right now.
All right, we'll bring it up. Here it is.
All right. Here it is.
Over a minute to go, 2 timeouts.
I got to put it in slow motion. Was it over a minute left? Yeah, there was over a minute.
Yeah, they had 107 when they got the ball. So this is probably like just over a minute because they had one completion to Dobbs where he like juggled it and caught it barely before he got out of bounds. Just like, whee! But he did catch it.
Yeah, and then he threw over. All right. So here's the Aaron Rodgers offense.
I hate it.
You run straight, and then you run straight, and then you run straight.
I thought you said I couldn't not like the call. I hate this call.
Okay, but hold on. They do a little bit different after a while.
Okay.
Tucker Kraft is in the top of your screen in the flat.
Yep.
Okay. So if he doesn't get pressured, that's an easy pass out to Tucker Kraft if he wants to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Also down here at the bottom of the screen, Aaron Jones tries to help Yash on Nick Bosa, and he kind of misses him. He kind of beats him to the inside.
Yeah,
but he gets his hands on him, try to slow him down a little bit. And Andy Herman had the audacity to say that if Aaron Jones would have just stopped trying to block Nick Bosa and just get in the flat, then maybe Jordan could have threw it to him. He was trying to blame Aaron Jones for the fact that Jordan Love threw a Brett Favrean pass to the middle of the field to a guy who was covered by 2 guys. I was like, are you fucking kidding me? Shut the hell up. Now, I don't like Andy Herman, but that's ridiculous. You do not blame Aaron Jones because he tried to block Nick Bosa and didn't go to the flat over here. Okay, so as this play is developing, you see that run straight, Kraft in the flat, Aaron Jones trying to help out with Yash. Now, I wish they would have had Kraft over here helping out with Yash and Aaron Jones in the flat up top of the screen. That would have been better, but whatever. I mean, Aaron Jones is 200 pounds. Tucker Kraft is 250. I think maybe it might be better to have Tucker Kraft trying to help, not Aaron Jones. But who are we to judge? We're dumb. Okay.
Well, not that dumb. I would like to see somebody running across the middle of the field right now because you have 2 timeouts. Jesus, come on.
It's coming. Christian Watson is going to come across he's going to cut in across the field here, right? But as he does that, the 49ers have 1, 2, 3, 4 guys deep, 1, 2, 3 guys in the intermediate zone, and they have only a 4-man rush, which puts pressure on Love. Now, Love is already getting out of the pocket here because Elton Jenkins is beat.
Yeah, Jenkins got his ass.
There isn't. I mean, he could still, like, if he would have tried to run, he could have threw it out to Tucker Kraft here. But probably not a good plan either way. Aaron Jones fell down after Nick Bosa beat him. So Aaron Jones is kind of trying to trip. Finally, Aaron Jones gets back up, and he sees Jordan Love coming at him. Now, what Andy Herman is saying is that Aaron Jones should have just kept running like this, and that would have given Jordan Love a place to throw the ball. And I can't disagree. That would probably be a good idea. But Jones, for some reason, decides to try to get back in front of Nick Bosa when he's already behind him, kind of. You know what I mean? Like, the chance of him getting in front to try to block is pretty much not going to happen.
Yeah.
And if you look here in the middle of the field where the SF is, Fred Warner is too damn smart. He's not going to let you have Christian Watson come in the middle of the field. He's not going to bite going deep. And there's only 3 guys in the route, and they have so many guys back here to protect. It's just not going to happen, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so here's what Jordan Love sees. Fred Warner is 2 inches from Christian Watson. I don't understand why he throws this ball.
Right.
Unless Fred Warner's uniform just kind of blended into the SF here. But I could see that if he was standing in front of it, maybe you saw the SF. But like, they were looking at it from the air. All he's going to see is green behind him, right?
Mm-hmm.
He must have just totally not seen Fred Warner, which I don't know. Fred Warner's like 6'3" and 220 pounds, and he's not like a small guy. He's pretty tall and rangy, and he's got cool hair. So I would see him. You know what I'm saying? It's just dumb. There is no reason to throw this ball here.
No.
I mean, and maybe he's trying to throw here. Well, this guy's double team too. That's Bo Melton.
There's nobody to throw to.
There's nobody to throw to.
Nobody. So you throw, and you're outside the pocket. You throw it away. You throw it away. Like inexplicable.
If Greenlaw wouldn't have caught that, Fred Warner would have caught that. They were fighting over it. It is the dumbest thing I've ever seen. On first down, with over a minute left,
right?
You throw to a double-covered guy in the middle of the field across your body.
Now, Greenlaw, you are a moron, dude.
He is a moron.
I'm not saying he's not. Like, you could, and then he keeps going. Like, after that, what are you doing? Just go down for somebody rips the ball out.
Let's take a look at what they do here. They do the bend with 3 guys on one side, Nick Bosa all alone over here on poor Yash. And it messes up everybody because they don't do that. They do stunts and craziness. We know that happens, right?
Mm-hmm.
So Tucker Kraft gets a chuck on Young. So you'd think we get some time here, right? Double team here. And Yash just sits way too far on the inside here, which gives Nick Bosa the inside lane. And now Walker has to let him go because Young is coming. But this guy does such a good job. He's already beaten Jenkins one-on-one, even though they had with the double team. He's shoving Jenkins with the double team on him. Walker didn't. Walker was standing there, but he wasn't really blocking.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where we get the pressure on Love. And he's forced to go. And Aaron Jones falls down, so he's thinking, crap, I'm out of the play. I'm going to try to get back in it. I don't know. And it's just a complete disaster. A complete disaster.
It's a complete Favre. That was a complete Brett Favre right there.
So, and I have 8 other plays of Jordan Love throwing the ball badly, inaccurate, not playing well.
Yeah, he had some
and
issues.
That's my beef. That's my beef.
What?
Everybody is blaming Anders Carlson. Everybody's blaming the fact that we got drop picks. Everybody's blaming the defense not stopping him on the end of the play, on the end of the thing. And then they say, but man, Jordan Love, at least we know we got a quarterback. We better pay him. We better pay him $50 million, $50 million a year. We better pay him. You want to give a guy who's too dumb to realize that on first down, to just throw the damn ball away? You want to give that guy $50 million? I could see giving him something. But everybody's saying how he's the guy. He's the guy. He's the guy. And let's look back at the last week's game. On his great game. Where Romeo Doubs was wide ass open. And he threw to a stationary Romeo Doubs. A bunch of times. Luke Musgrave was wide ass open. And he still had to wait and kind of do a weird thing to catch it because it wasn't a great pass. And Bo Melton on his touchdown. The guy fell down, and the pass was way too far, and he almost had to tippy-toe it. When he was wide-ass open, just throw it to him.
Yeah,
you don't have to frickin'... Those are not accurate passes. None of them. But they were so wide-ass open, it didn't matter. And last week, the scheme worked because the Cowboys suck. This week, the scheme didn't work. There was no guy schemed open today. Or Saturday night. And when guys aren't schemed open, we see what Love does. He overshoots. He undershoots. He throws too hard. There's one play where he drilled it to a guy who was 2 feet away from him. There's another play where he wound ducted one way too far. I'm not saying he sucks. I'm not saying he couldn't be good someday.
Mm-hmm.
What I am saying is he deserves as much blame as everybody else. Yet all I hear is Anders Carlson, Joe Barry sucks, Matt LaFleur calls dumb plays. Why the hell didn't we, score? We had 3 trips to the red zone. We should have kicked the field goal there. We got screwed by the refs. Blah 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 blah.
Let's say this: for whatever reason, the streak continues. Aaron Jones got face masked twice in this game, and they didn't call either one of them. What the hell is it? What is it about?
And once again, Aaron Jones plays great. And then after the game, Andy Herman's like, Aaron Jones should have went out in the flat instead of trying to block Nick Bosa or else. Yeah, that's right. Aaron Jones said that was his fault. Everybody's got to blame Aaron Jones because he fumbled or it's always something. Aaron Jones makes one mistake and oh my God, we got to talk about it. Where Jordan Love can throw the ball like shit 8 times, 9 times in the game, totally miss guys wide open. And all we do is we say, oh, that's our guy. We got to pay him. Holy crap, we got to pay him. Really? Just hold everybody accountable. I don't understand. This is my beef. My beef is not Jordan Love. I think Jordan Love's going to be good. I like Jordan Love. My beef is with the Packer fans. For 30 years, we have let a quarterback get away with murder. Every time for 30 years. Brett Favre won a Super Bowl threw 20 million interceptions. Yet it was always somebody else's fault when they lost. Always. The fans are, come on, Brett, when they're on defense. The fans are, Brett Favre, wah! Donald Driver went from the 6th receiver on the team to number 1 because after Brett Favre threw 6 picks, the Packers cut 3 guys and traded away Corey Bradford. And then there was only 1 guy left on the team, and that was Donald Driver. And Brett Favre got away with it. They blamed defensive coordinators. They blamed the head coach. They blamed offensive linemen. They blamed bad tackling. And then Aaron Rodgers. He can do no wrong. Aaron Rodgers, they never gave him a defense. That's why he kept losing. They never once drafted a wide receiver in the first round, even though we had Pro Bowlers in Donald Driver, Greg Jennings. James Jones led the league in touchdowns 3 or 4 times a year. Jordy Nelson was a Pro Bowler. Devontae Adams was a Pro Bowler. Randall Cobb was a Pro Bowler. But they never drafted a first-round pick for Aaron Rodgers. Never got the blame. Never. It's always everybody else's fault. And now they're doing it again with Jordan Love. And I like Jordan Love. I want to make it clear. I like Jordan Love. I like the fact that he's a Packers quarterback. I think it's going to be a great move for the future. I think he's got a good, strong arm. He needs to stop throwing the ball off his back foot. That's dumb. And, of course, his dumb Brett Favre he didn't throw at the end of the game was dumb. But he's shown he's got ability in the pocket to escape and not get sacked. As many times as Josh got his ass beaten this game after Jack Tom got hurt, Jordan Love didn't get sacked.
Mm-hmm.
He can get away. That's a talent. That's a great talent Jordan Love has.
Yeah.
But to never give a quarterback blame is the biggest problem I have with Packer fans. Now, not all of them, but 90% of the Packer fans. And it's because they don't look at everything else. Or they do look at everything. They blame every defense coordinator. Matt LaFleur didn't. Whose fault was it when the Packers lost to Tampa Bay? Matt LaFleur kicked the field goal instead of giving Aaron Rodgers that chance on 4th and 8 when he couldn't do it on 1st and 8, 2nd and 8, 3rd and 8. Of course he was going to do it on 4th and 8. Plus they would have had to get a 2-point conversion just to tie the game because you know that was going to happen, right? Wrong! But it was Matt LaFleur's fault that he kicked the field goal, not Aaron Rodgers. Packer fans need to wake up. I, for one, don't want to see giving a guy $50 million a year or more when he hasn't proven anything yet. He had a couple good games at the end of the year. He had 30 touchdowns. And why? Because we never ran the ball in the red zone. And we couldn't run the ball in the red zone. And that's what bit us in the balls on Saturday night. We could not move the ball in the red zone. Aaron Jones ran up and down the field, made awesome plays, and then we got the red zone. Guess what? It all crowds in because our offensive linemen aren't tough and aren't strong and can't move the freaking goddamn line of scrimmage. We were forced to do all these flip-out runs all the way to the outside. And you know who was the best blocker in this game? Dontavian Wicks. Dontavian Wicks had a couple awesome plays where he's blocking Nick Bosa, by the way. Awesomely.
DeGuara had some really good blocks.
DeGuara played pretty good. Tucker
Yep.
Kraft actually had a kind of a stinky game. He had a couple bad ones. He had a really good pass protection of Nick Bosa one time, which was awesome. But he was terrible in the run game. But Dontavian Wicks is awesome. That's all I'm saying. Packer fans need to stop it. Carlson missed the field goal. Yes. Joe Barry stinks. Yes. Savage, Campbell, Jair, they're all wusses. Yes. Matt LaFleur made some dumb calls. Should have kicked the damn field goal on 4th down and 1. Yes.
Well, I also hate
it was a tight game.
I also hate the tush push. Why?
Okay.
Why?
Right. But
it's not a play that they do well. Like, why? Just if you're gonna go for it, do a play that you're good at. Give it to Aaron Jones. Give him a little space. He'll find a way to get a yard. But like the tush push, dumb. Now I know people will point out 49ers were offsides in that play, and they absolutely were.
They were.
But it happened so fast. You're trying to go fast. The officials didn't notice it. And you went with a dumb tush push. It's stupid. It's not a play that you can do. So run a play that you're good at. Don't try to mimic what other people do when you're not good at it. I hated the call. I'm okay. I mean, I would have preferred a field goal in that case because it's early in the game. But I'm okay, I guess, with going for it. As long if you would give it to Aaron Jones, you didn't get it, fine. I'd have been like, all right. But you do that play and you don't get it, I hate it.
And I know everybody's probably mad at me because everybody loves Jordan Love. Everybody wants Jordan Love to succeed, and I do too.
Jordan Love, look, I agree with you.
Saying,
I agree with you that you shouldn't give him like a huge ass contract right now.
Let's wait. Like everybody wants to give it to him already now. It's like, can we just give him another half a year? Maybe give him a contract extension halfway through the year next year, or something like that. Can we just calm down? Can we just calm down? I mean, it's just kind of crazy to me because I don't know, but
I mean,
I'm just bothered because it drives me insane. We watched it for years where Favre could do anything. He could throw 20 million picks and it was always somebody else's fault. Rodgers is a dick, throws the ball away half the time, doesn't run the play, calls whatever the hell he wants. Somebody else's fault. And now Jordan Love, inaccurate as hell in this game, and then makes the dumbest throw in the history of since Brett Favre, and it's everybody else's fault. He has just as many plays, and if not more plays. But Anders Carlson, he misses one kick, even though he made the other ones.
I know.
He had one mistake, but oh my God, but even though Jordan Love, how many mistakes Jordan Love make in this game? 1 million. But that's okay. But Anders Carlson makes one mistake, and oh my God, fire his ass.
Quarterbacks have a different standard in the NFL because they get a lot more opportunities, so they get a lot more leeway. I get it. And you're right. And kickers, that's the thing. That's the thing about kickers, right? It's a really it's probably one of the toughest jobs because
you just stand around and then you got to go in there and be perfect every time.
Yeah. And if you're not, everybody flips out. Now, Todd asked a question early on about the whole operation. Because the operation was a problem at times. And when Mason was missing, he was a little growly about the operation and never thought it was on him. And it is a 3-person operation. Now, I didn't notice anything in the missed kick. I thought the snap was fine. I thought the hold was pretty good.
The ball was kind of like teetering, like kind of like this a little bit toward like the outside. Like, I don't know. It was toward like the top of the ball was leaning toward where it would have missed the field goal, like where he actually missed it. So it's almost like he kicked it and then it kind of went so that could have been something.
I mean, it could be, right? And you got 3 people involved in that process, and then you got the blockers too. But like those 3 it all has to work. I think Anders, he got questioned pretty hard after the game. He said that he was playing it with a wind or a little bit of a push. And I was like, that wind wasn't that strong. Like in that case, you kick to the middle and, you just try to drill it. Like you shouldn't be playing any wind in that case. So maybe he was just trying to cover for his guys, the issues.
Make an excuse.
But
that's what I think.
Who knows? But anyway, one thing where it came down to coaching for me, though, as well, decisions by Matt LaFleur was, I mean, after the play of the game, which is Aaron Jones' run when they're backed up.
It was
Aaron
awesome.
Jones' run where
I was like,
four guys who were out in front of him didn't block a single person.
No, only Dontavian Wicks made a block on that play.
Yeah. Yash, I counted like 4 guys on the replay, did not even get a block.
Yeah.
And Aaron Jones runs all over the place and makes this huge run, gets them out of a hole. They're way backed up. Then he's so tired. They bring in Emmanuel Wilson. They get another first down rushing the ball.
He jumps over a guy.
Yep.
Awesome.
And I'm like, let's keep pounding the ball. And on first down, Matt LaFleur's like, got to take a shot.
Yep.
We got to take a shot. No, we don't have to take a shot. How about we keep running the ball?
Yeah.
And that was a problem to me because you don't take a situation like that where your best player makes a game-changing, field-flipping play, and then you get another first down by doing the same thing, running the ball with his backup. You can bring it back in, feed him the ball. You keep doing what's working. And if you got to pass on third down because you can't get a first down on, first and second running the ball, fine. But I don't want to see a shot on first down. And I don't want to see, then you try to run on a second down, and then we got to throw it on third down again, and then we can't get anywhere, and then we got to kick a 42-yard field goal with a kicker that apparently you don't trust, and you let it out in a production meeting, and then you're mad that they said something about it in a production meeting.
Yeah.
Blah,
Well, he
blah,
said
blah,
it.
blah, blah.
If you don't want to say it, then don't say it. Then
Yeah.
nobody will know.
So that was also another big reason why they lost. Like, I don't understand. These coaches in the NFL, like, look, Matt LaFleur is not alone. A bunch of them. That's what they do. And the Packers have benefited from that for years and years and years. And we had to play the Vikings and other teams that could run the ball well and run it all over us. And then all of a sudden they're like, oh, we got to take a shot. Oh, now we got to pass. Oh, thank you so much. Oh, you're not going to give it to Adrian Peterson again? Okay, we'll take that all day long. Great. It's dumb. Football does not have to be that hard.
No.
It's basically like you run plays that are going to work, that you think your team is good at. You utilize your best players. And when those plays are working, you don't stop doing those plays to switch it up. You keep doing those plays that are working until they stop it.
That's right.
Until they stop it. And then if they have to change what they're doing to stop you and stop those plays, then you can counter with something different because they've adjusted their defensive approach. So now you can exploit what they've adjusted to. But you don't change just to change.
And I think that's a good point. That's a difference. That's the difference between Kyle Shanahan, Bill Belichick,
Hell
a lot of these coaches that are Super Bowl winning coaches and smart coaches is they know what they're playing against.
Mm-hmm.
And in this defense with Wilkes or Steve Wilkes, right? He's the defense coordinator that's at this point.
Yep.
They just got gashed by Aaron Jones and gave up a first down to Emmanuel Wilson. And on the next play, instead of biting on the play fake, he still called a coverage, a pass coverage type defense, a zone defense where his guys were covering everybody and everybody knew what was going on. They played man. They didn't worry about it. They're like, you know what? You want to keep running? Go ahead. Because we don't think you're going to keep running, or we don't think you can stop us, or you can keep running on us, or whatever it is. And the same thing on offense. If something works, they just keep doing it. Kyle Shanahan will run the ball a million times. We already went. That's how we lost to him in 2019.
He even they said during the broadcast that he said, just because you get a stacked box, I don't want you to call off the run.
Yeah, because if they get through there, they're gone.
He's like, I want my team to figure out how to go against stacked boxes and how to make those productive running plays. So run the play.
The other thing is that really bothers me, and I
let me just finish. His response was he doesn't want the other team to dictate to him what he wants to do. He's going to do what he wants to do. And if they stop it and he has to adjust, then he will. But he doesn't want to say, just because you called this, I'm going to counter and change what I wanted to do. Which I agree with.
I will say this too. Brock Purdy, the last couple drives, he turned into somebody else. He was hitting balls. He was throwing it accurately. Apparently, George Kittle said, now, George Kittle gave us a gift on one time where he got hit, like he threw it right to him and dropped it.
Yep.
And then that was on second down. And then the very next play, apparently the receiver ran the wrong route. And it was third down. And then they had to punt to us. And then that was what then led to the Aaron Jones big run. They got us. So that's how we got the ball back. Like the defense stopped him, but the defense really didn't stop him. The receiver ran the wrong route. And then George Kittle said on Pat McAfee that Brock Purdy went and lit that guy up. Got all over him. He's like, what the crap is going on? And I'm sure he didn't say crap. And know what you're supposed to be doing. And there's another guy. I watched a guy, 49er guy this week. who is, he's kind of like us, where he talks about the games and stuff. And he showed the all 22, and he shows Kyle Shanahan when the ball is still in the air, looking at where the balls get thrown, and he sees that the receiver's in the wrong spot, and he's jumping up and down and screaming. So before the ball's not even close to being like where it's going to end up landing, he knows the guy's in the wrong spot because he called the play, right? And he's already yelling and screaming about it because Kittle didn't say what player it was or what play it was that where Purdy started yelling at him. He's like, but after Purdy yelled at that dude, he's like, Kittle's like, Purdy went out and it was like totally different guy. He was like hitting every shot. He was like hitting every ball. Every ball is perfect. Every pass is perfect. He was right on top of everything. And he was. Now, our defense was sitting back and letting him do it.
Mm-hmm.
But he sees the moment when the moment was there. And our guy pulled a Favre. And I'm not saying Brock Purdy's better than Jordan Love, but I am saying he's better than Jordan Love right now. For a team that wants to win in the playoffs. Is the Packers' future bright? Yes. If you would have told me before the season started, the Packers are going to win a game, make the playoffs, and win a game and beat the snot out of Dallas, which was awesome. That was a great gift. Watching Dallas get their butts handed to them. It was awesome.
Yeah.
You would have told me they would have lost to the 49ers. First of all, I would have sucked because I hate the 49ers, especially they keep kicking our asses all the time. But before the season started, I would have been like, holy crap, that's awesome. No way. But it's just so many things went wrong. And I think every Packer fan has the same feeling. We're like, dang it. That's our game. That was our game. They wanted to give it to us. And we just didn't take it.
That's true.
And that's the saddest part about it. And that's why getting a new defense coordinator can be good. But I'm not going to get excited until I see who it is.
Mm-hmm.
Because it could be another freaking schlub.
It's got to be somebody with toughness who's going to
it's got to be.
Put the tough players in.
And they need to be able to bring their own coaching staff in. No more 100%. Holding guys for. I mean, I like Jerry Montgomery. He's been here for 20,000 years, and actually, the defensive line played pretty decent this year.
Yeah.
So maybe I don't know, but it's just after a while, like McCarthy had to go.
I don't know
guys have to go.
Who the linebacker coaches are, but we need some different linebackers.
Oh my God, that old the Dogly or whatever. His interview, like whenever they have interviews with him.
We need somebody with some fire, man. If you're not a fire, linebackers got to have fire. Like
I want a former player.
Yeah,
I want a former player, and not like a scrub, but like a guy who was halfway decent, who's like Johnny Holland, he's a linebacker coach for the 49ers.
AJ Hawk.
No, but I mean, are Fred Warner and Dre Greenlaw pretty damn good, and Johnny Holland's their linebacker coach. Maybe they're pretty good. You look at teams that have good receivers, and their receiver coach is a wide receiver, former wide receiver. Offensive lineman, James Campen was awesome when he was here, and our offensive line was amazing. Now they're not tough guys.
No.
Back when James Campen was here, he told Evan Dietrich Smith to go and untie Ndamukong Suh's shoe to get him pissed, and he ended up getting kicked out of the game because he was getting so mad because every time Evan Dietrich Smith would untie his shoe. Because that's what James Campen told him to do. He's like, you can't beat him physically, so you got to piss him off. Keep untying his shoe every time you go to the ground. And he did. And then Sue got pissed and started punching guys and got kicked out of the game. And the Packers won. That's good coaching. That's good coaching. And that's a former player who's willing to, he's like, hey, I'm going to do whatever you got to do.
Yeah.
To win. Whatever it is on the field. And these guys don't. Leroy Butler would be awesome as a safety coach.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm pretty encouraged by a lot of things with the team, and I was the same thing with you. Like, I mean, I said after the Dallas game too, if they could do that, that would make the season awesome, and it did. And the season was awesome. Like it had its ups and downs, and it was a crazy roller coaster.
It was crazy.
We'll finish all that in our show next week, where we'll do the awards and all that stuff. But the ending was disappointed, I guess, just because they surprised us so much that they really should have won this game.
Yeah.
And, so that did make it, I think, harder for a lot of Packer fans, even though it was easier because you didn't see a blowout. So you're like, wow, this team is got a really bright future, right? Because they didn't get their asses blown out. But
when you watch the tape back,
I don't know. There's so many ops.
There's a lot of things where you're like, dang, like this.
Yeah.
Just The missed tackles, the
Missed tackles, and
on
just
offense, the totally whiffing on guys blocking,
but it comes for me
terrible
too.
passes.
For me too, then it comes back to a number of the things were coaches' personnel decisions, guys to be in the game, guys that are on the field versus guys they could have had in the game. And I was who was I watching? I was watching one of the other games, and they had shoot, what team is it? Stupid brain's not working. But they talked. Oh no, it was Tampa Bay. It was Tampa Bay against the Lions. And they said, they got Devin White. He was a top 5 pick. And they had this
Not
other
starting
dude.
anymore.
He's not starting
I know.
because they like this other guy's better. This Brit guy or Pritt guy or whoever what the hell his name is.
Yeah.
They're like, sorry, he starts. He's aggressive, tackles everything. He doesn't piss around like you. He might not have your physical tools, but he plays linebacker better than you.
Yeah.
And he's starting. And the top 5 pick is on the bench. And I was just like, man, if the Packers would do that, and would have done that with different positions in this game, they would have won. So that's why even with all the players, even with you can't blame Devondre Campbell necessarily for being Devondre Campbell. That's who he is. That's who he's shown everybody, fans, anybody that's watched a game, anybody that's gone back and watched extra film. That is who he is. He is a passive player who does not attack, does not tackle aggressively, does not tackle with force, doesn't read plays.
He reads them. He just doesn't really move to.
He doesn't make plays. That's who he is at a position that's a playmaking position.
Yeah.
So that is the coaches. That is a coaching decision to have him on the field.
Yeah.
And the other thing, this is going into, and so, same thing with some of the guys defensively, whatever that were, Savage, another clear example. I don't know. I know Rudy Ford, like you said, Rudy Ford probably screws up sometimes.
Yeah.
Is that why they take him out? I don't care. Rudy Ford was leading the team in tackles a bunch of games this year when he got to play.
I know.
Rudy Ford tackles people and he makes plays and he plays aggressively. I just don't.
He would not have missed that tackle on Christian McCaffrey on the 39-yard touchdown run, like Savage did. He also would have, and I'll say this: I don't know if Jonathan Owens was purposely not using his arms to not tackle Christian McCaffrey. Based on the game and the flow of the game, I don't think that he was told anything to not try to tackle. And Kenny Clark to get his ass kicked and get just bulldozed to the ground on that play. Yeah. The very last touchdown by Christian McCaffrey.
Right.
But it sure as hell looked like they were just letting him score. Because Owens just comes in there. He doesn't even wrap him up. He just tries to smack him with his shoulder. It's like, you're not going to get anybody down with that. You're like 200 pounds. And McCaffrey's like a monster, like awesome running back. It was just weird looking. So, which is fine because they need it. And that was the other thing that was so weird.
Yeah.
And I hope whoever we get as defense coordinator understands this. If you're going to die slowly like that and take all that time off the clock, you're just wasting everything.
Yeah.
Like you need to be aggressive and attack. If you get beat, so what?
Yep.
But if you stop them and get a turnover, you win. And if you get beat, your offense then has an opportunity with a bunch of time on the clock to go down there and freaking win.
Yeah.
But if you sit there and sit back and do nothing and let them do whatever they want, they pissed away 6 minutes or 5 minutes of the clock or whatever it was because you were just sitting there doing nothing. And that's a Joe Barry fireable offense right there. Now, some of the plays, guys were in the right position, and Brock Purdy made an awesome throw. Like that throw on third down where Keyshawn Nixon was all over freaking Brandon Ayuk. It was a great throw, great catch. Keyshawn Nixon was great. He had great coverage.
Ayuk made a couple of really great catches. And I was like, what do you do?
And it was a perfectly thrown ball. I mean, freaking Keyshawn Nixon was right there. There's nothing else he can do. He blanket covered. He was pretty much wearing him like a shirt. And didn't matter because the ball was so dang perfect, and the guy caught the ball, and that was the end of that. Mm-hmm. And the other one where the ball was thrown really low, and Ayuk had a shoestring catch on that one. Of course, Jair's over there, so he wasn't anywhere near him, of course, and that's easy catch, and there you go. If Jair would have been playing more tighter, then it would have been a better play, but he wasn't. He's not going to do that.
Let me ask, did anybody
yeah.
else? So the other defensive strategy part, which drove me kind of crazy. So we talked about some of the personnel things, and those were definitely a factor. But the other defensive strategy part was, you said it last week.
Yeah,
going into the game, you wanted to see a bunch of 3 big guys in the game.
And it worked almost every time
when they had 3 big guys. Number one, not only were they stopping the run, but when the 49ers passed on those plays, TJ Slayton was getting a push.
Yeah.
Like he was pushing the center, like he was squeezing the pocket.
And Kenny Clark was too.
Yeah.
They actually played pretty good.
So they would have a successful play like that.
Carl Brooks was too.
And then they take one of the big guys out and go with a 4-man front.
Well, it's because the 49ers. Now, I will say this after watching the film, because you don't really get all this all the time when you're watching the game, but
yeah,
Kyle Shanahan went to 3 receivers because he realized, okay, if I keep doing my normal, 2 tight end, fullback, running back, 2 wide receivers, they're playing 3 down linemen, 3 big guys in the middle, and they're stopping us. They're stopping us. And he went and switched to, even though they lost Deebo Samuel, he still went to 3 wide receiver sets. That's why you saw 85 in there. You saw 3 in there. And because of that, of course, Joe Barry matched it, took a defensive lineman out and put in a freaking corner or a safety or whatever it was. Ugh. And then of course, what did they do? They ran the ball.
Yeah.
With 3 receivers in the game because they took away the defensive lineman. Because his offensive line at center and 2 guards couldn't hold up against our big guys because our big guys were playing awesome. So it's a smart move by freaking Kyle Shanahan. He said, okay, we can't beat these guys. So I'm going to be smart. I'll put another receiver. Joe Barry will be dumb. Take his good defensive lineman out, and we're going to still run it right on him. Now, had he kept the defensive lineman in there, maybe Kyle Shanahan would have called passing plays, and we would have got beat in the air anyways. Who knows? Probably. But it was still a smart move by Kyle Shanahan. And this is coaching decisions that we watch opposing teams do that we are too dumb to figure out. Right? We don't do that. We just call plays that look cool or might be cool or whatever instead of using our guys. Okay, I have an idea. We're like 5 deep at wide receiver, right? And the 49ers are really good at linebacker, right? And as much as Tucker Kraft is playing great, though he had a pretty rough game this one, Musgrave's hurt. Ben Sims is a rookie. I don't know. Maybe we put Aaron Jones and 3 wide receivers out there. Did they still play freaking Warner and Greenlaw if we do that? And are our receivers with Dobbs and Wicks and Reed and Watson, are all those 4 guys better than the 3rd and 4th cover guys of the 49ers? Hell yeah. Though number 2 had a great game for them. I don't know what his name is. He was awesome, by the way. Watching the film, he was like all over the place. He was attacking, making tackles, doing good in coverage. He was, I don't know what his name, number 2 for the 49ers. He was a great corner. Anyways, but that's a smart thing that I would do. Mm-hmm. Wow, the 49ers are all pro linebackers. Let's put as many receivers out there as we can and see if they'll maybe take one of them off the field. And maybe we'll have only 1 guy to worry about. And not only that, we'll make him cover like Bo Melton. Hell, we'll put 5 damn receivers out there.
Yeah.
We have enough guys. Our receivers are like our best. Those young guys were the best. Did we utilize that against them? No. We put Bo Melton in, but he was only in like a 3 receiver set. We never ran a 4 receiver set. We certainly never ran a 5 receiver set. But is that something that you can do to mess with the freaking defense? You have to understand what you're going against. If they're really good, just like I said last week or before the game, I said, hey, let's put our crappiest guy on Trent Williams.
Yeah.
And then put 3 guys on the other guys and then do some stunts and whatever. And go to what happened? The first drive, we got a sack. Now, we had Preston Smith on Trent Williams, but we lined up the other 3 guys over on the other side of the field. And they did a crazy stunt and boom, sack. Awesome. Why? Because they did what I said. You can't beat Trent Williams. He's too good. So just have 1 guy over there. Go after the guys that stink. And that's a Bill Belichick thing. He would do it because he's smart. And apparently Kyle Shanahan's smart. He'll do it. Matt LaFleur's got to learn this crap. I don't know how he doesn't.
Yeah. Right.
Hopefully whoever he hires as defensive coordinator is smart enough to figure it out.
Yeah.
Utilize your strengths against their weaknesses and go after them. Whatever it is. The weakness for the 49ers was the interior offensive line. And that's where we needed to attack, and that's where we should have stayed attacking. And we did a good job for a while. And then he would pull guys out and screw it up. So, I don't know. I'm sorry I'm negative, and I'm sorry I'm crabby, and everybody wants to be happy. But if you want a happy show, there's a bunch of them. There's a bunch of shows telling you how great things are going to be next year. That's great. We tell you the truth. If you want to hear the truth, come here. If you want to hear a bunch of crap, go somewhere else. I'm still a fan. I'm still excited about the future, as long as they get rid of some guys and bring back Aaron Jones.
Yeah.
Somebody's asking about A.J. Dillon. What do you think about A.J. Dillon? They're saying
I think
zero saying that it's bad news that we really hurt us. We didn't have A.J. Dillon.
I mean, you said it exactly right about AJ Dillon, because even we were watching the game at Sarah and Andrews, I think somebody said about Dillon would have plowed through and got all this stuff. And I'm like, you said it right. Like AJ Dillon doesn't actually deliver hits. He takes hits. He's just like a big guy who runs and then gets hit by people and then gets tackled. Sometimes he can go a little farther, but at his size, he doesn't like blast people and knock them back. It's weird to me.
It's not like Ironhead Hayward, right?
Yeah.
It's not like he would just plow over dudes, right? Or Christian Okoye. Remember Christian Okoye?
Well, even Amon Green, who wasn't even that big, right?
Yeah.
Like
Or Dorsey Levens.
He'd lower his shoulder and dudes would get knocked on their ass. AJ Dillon runs kind of straight up and he's big and he just gets beat up. He just gets hit a lot. And it's so I don't know that it would have helped. Now the question is, do we need AJ Dillon back? Definitely we're not going after Henry in free agency. Henry is done. He's done. He's beat up. The Titans ran him into the ground. He's gonna have nothing left. AJ Dillon, on the other hand, probably has some left if he wants to take a cheap enough deal, but they can't pay him much money, but he can come back to the team. I mean, everybody thinks because he loves Door County, he loves Wisconsin, he loves the Packers, he'll probably take a pretty cheap deal if they offer him one.
I think he's got to take whatever he can get, right?
Yeah.
If he's not getting any bites, then I think we could sign him for a cheap 1-year deal and say, hey, we're going to bring you back and you can be a guy. But we got so many draft picks. I mean, we can easily get a running back. Emmanuel Wilson looks halfway decent, though his speed does not look anywhere near as fast as he did in the preseason when he's going against a bunch of slow third string and fourth string guys.
Yeah.
So I don't know how good. Maybe he was just, product of him seeing him playing against really scrubs, and then he looked really awesome because he doesn't look nearly as fast after watching Aaron Jones. Then all of a sudden he comes in for a play, and you're like, whoa, Aaron Jones looks way faster than him. And Aaron Jones isn't even that fast. He's just quick. So I don't know. I think A.J. Dillon is a cool guy and an awesome guy.
Yep.
And unfortunately, I don't think he's that great of a running back. And I'm just telling the truth. I'm sorry. I used to, 2 years ago, I almost bought his jersey. Remember, it was between him, Jones, and my guy Rasul Douglas, right? Yep. And I chose Rasul Douglas because he stayed after 20 minutes working with frickin' Jean Charles on how to not suck, and he still didn't work, but he tried. And that made me want to buy Rasul. I was like, this guy is a leader. He's awesome. He's a playmaker. I'm buying his jersey, even though I had Aaron Jones' jersey in my hand. Should have bought it. But I wanted to be, me, I like to be different. So I was like, I'm going Rasul. Yeah. I'm going Rasul. And I did. I even thought A.J. Dillon was going to have a better year than Aaron Jones in 2022. That was not the case. I said that. And A.J. Dillon has just proven to me that he's just okay. And unfortunately, it's just not worth hanging on to. I mean, if we let Micah Hyde walk, who is actually good, A.J. Dillon needs to be let walk. And I don't even know if it's a good idea to bring him back on the cheap. I really don't. Because I don't think he's a good enough player.
Well, that's the other part. Does he even make your roster, like you said?
Well, I don't know. I mean, I gotta be. I just don't.
With all the draft picks now, here's the thing: the Packers got to draft a bunch of defensive players again.
Oh yeah, they do. They got nobody at safety. Nobody at corner.
They need corners. It's the same goddamn story. How is it every year? We need safeties and corners and D-backs, and we can never get it right.
Because Eric Stokes is hurt again. Yep. Keyshawn's only on a 1-year deal, so he's done after this year.
Yep.
Valentine is a rookie, but and Valentine is probably a restricted free agent that he has to sign back with them. But is he a starter? I don't know. And then Jair is crazy, so who the hell knows what's going on with that guy? So we got to draft another corner in the first round. Guess what?
And we got to get safeties.
We got to get linebackers because Campbell stinks.
We get linebackers. So
we have no safeties. We got to get 2 safeties somehow.
Packers are gonna be drafting a bunch of defensive players again. Get ready for it.
We need another
Um,
center because our
And
center
we need offensive linemen.
stinks. We need a tackle. We need a guard. We need 3 offensive linemen in this draft. One of each.
Jesus.
Because Yash is going to be gone.
Yeah, and he needs
Bakhtiari hope that he will be gone because but that's going to be another tricky one. If he's injured and they let him go, they're going to owe him $40 million.
Well, they're going to be just paying
unless he takes a deal, and he won't because he's already freaking stolen so much money. There's no way he's going to do a deal.
Yeah,
he will gouge us for all the money he can, and he's got to be able to pass a physical. So what are you going to do? Sit on the? So it's cheaper for the Packers to have him sit on the books than to release him with injury designation, which makes no sense, but it's true.
Lee thinks Jair has some trade value, even if he's expensive. I don't know, Lee.
But it would cost us money to trade him, Lee. It would cost us $4 million on the cap hit to trade him, I think.
Well, the Packers have done that before, right?
Well, I know.
They've done that before.
$40 million. I know.
And they did it with, Zadarius. Well, they didn't get to trade him, but whatever. But I mean,
but who's going to want Jair?
That's what I'm saying. After watching how often he's injured, watching his play deteriorate greatly, and then also his antics and all the stuff, like there's not that many teams that are going to want him. There's not that many teams that are going to think, oh yeah, we'll turn his attitude around and yeah, he'll get back to being a great corner here for us. I don't think so.
And I don't want Runyon back. Do you?
No.
He's not that good. Why pay him any money?
If it's cheap.
No, fine. Why?
Because they suck at drafting, and they have to draft so many defensive players, and he's at least serviceable.
You know who's a free agent? Lucas Patrick. Sign his ass back to be a backup center guard.
Lucas is done. He's
better than freaking Runyon Bunyan. At least he'll block till the whistle.
I know, but he's done.
Well, I don't care.
He's probably going to be. Maybe he'll sign back with the Packers to retire. That'd be cool.
I don't know.
Did Micah Hyde legit retire?
No, his contract's up, I guess. Maybe, I don't know. Did he retire? I don't know.
People said maybe he'd come back to the Pack.
If he came back to the Pack, that'd be crazy. But
that's one of our safeties. We got it solved.
He's always hurt though. It'd be like signing Jai. I don't know if it's a good idea. Plus, Aaron Jones is wearing 33, and Jair's wearing 23. So what number is he going to wear?
Get rid of Jair, and then Micah can wear 23.
Oh, okay. All right, sounds good. But I think that'd just be so dumb though. If we signed Micah Hyde when we traded Rasul to the Bills, that's not an upgrade. So we traded a guy who was going to be 29 for a guy who was 34 or 33 or however old he is.
It's a great guy though.
He is an awesome guy. I mean, I would love to have both those guys. But
yeah.
What do you think about? I was thinking about this today too. Is
Lee's already been semi-scouting the draft.
Like Preston Smith. I like him as a guy. I just think his pursuit is so slow. And he makes some plays. He's smart, right? But I just think he leaves so many plays on the field that I don't think I want him on the team. But I don't know what the alternative is then. Because it sounds like Inigbari is going to be out for the majority of the year next year.
That sucks.
And did Brenton Cox play in this game? I don't remember seeing him out there.
Nope.
Why not?
Vaness got a lot of snaps.
He looked great in the preseason. Was he even active?
I don't know. I don't think he was active.
There was a different guy who played 2 snaps.
Somehow Royce was active again, though. Every game this year, good old Royce, he was active for that field goal.
By the way, he's still under contract for next year. He'll be back.
For the field goal blocking unit, he's active. Like, what the
I don't know. Well, that's one thing. Didn't Yash block a field goal one time?
Yeah.
And Colby Wooden blocked one.
Colby Wooden blocked one.
Colby Wooden didn't play much this game either.
He played more snaps than he had been the last couple games.
Yeah, it was only 8 snaps, dude.
At the expense of Carl Brooks.
Carl Brooks only played 15 snaps.
What the hell happened? Would Kenny Clark play like 1 million snaps or what?
TJ Slayton played like 30.
It's not enough. TJ Slayton's a monster. He needed to play.
Preston's not relatively cheap.
So,
he's actually expensive as crap.
The thing with Preston, I will say, is he surprises me. Like, he beat really good offensive linemen to the outside for sacks and big plays in a number of games this year. And I'm like, I didn't expect that from him. he is at least a little bit better, more disciplined at setting the edge than the guys we
Yes,
currently have.
that he is.
But he doesn't make impact plays too often.
Right.
So, but then again, no. So all the other guys we have don't make impact plays either, except for Inigbari
See,
sometimes does.
I wonder if we had a more dynamic linebacker to pair with Quay Walker, if Preston would be better because he can set the edge, because he's smart. And if we had a guy who could fly a little bit quicker and make plays, like if we had like a JOK or a
Oh my God,
Jeremiah Kusa, whatever, JOK. If we had him,
I text you after the because
Yeah.
I caught some of the Browns playoff game.
well, he's
and
just
he was
crazy,
like,
man.
he was like flying around like Matt. He was
crazy.
just attacking plays.
He does not care. He's like a maniac. He's a
Yeah.
Tasmanian devil. Like he's what I thought Ivan Pace Jr. was going to look like when we played the Vikings.
Yeah.
He's not as good as JOK. JOK is just nuts. But he's a guy I really want the Packers to get him, but that's besides the point. Anyways,
He's an aggressive defensive player.
right.
Like,
If we could get a smaller, not smaller, but like quicker.
Yeah.
If we had linebackers and then like a branch, which we could have had, but we don't have, but a branch type guy at nickel who is attacking and can, get to the ball and maybe blitz a couple times and actually get there.
I think just aware, like that guy is he has really good awareness. Like he knows what's going on.
And he ran slow at the combine, so everybody's like, nope, he's too slow. And it's like, okay, well, the guy makes plays. I don't give a crap how slow he is.
Right.
He might get beat deep. Okay. Once in a while, is the quarterback going to be accurate? Who are you playing?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And 9 times out of 10, it doesn't matter. And he's out there making plays. And, we get to watch the Lions this weekend and see how good they do. I don't know. I hope to beat the crap out of the 49ers because I can't stand the damn 49ers. But to be quite honest, I'll say this one more time.
Yep.
If the Packers somehow beat the 49ers, which they should have done, and then beat the Lions, which they could have done,
yep,
I think they would get blown their asses out by the Ravens. The Ravens look like a monstrosity, and it's a terrible, terrible matchup with the Packers.
It's because they're super physical.
Well, they're super physical. Their quarterback is faster than crap. I mean, look what Tommy DeVito did to us. Lamar Jackson would kill us. And they can run the ball really well. And the receivers can catch. And their tight ends are good. Like, we would be the Ravens are going to win the Super Bowl, I would think. I mean, their team is just unbelievable. As long as Lamar doesn't do something dumb. But especially if the Packers played them, if somehow the Packers made the Super Bowl. So, like, them losing to the 49ers is fine. Because they're not going to get, if they get the Super Bowl, they would have gotten blown out. The Ravens are a monstrosity of a team with freaks of nature all over the place. Their linebackers are great, playing great.
I don't want to hear it. I don't want Harbaugh's to win the college and the pro.
Win. It's going to be the brotherly love of college. But that's just one of the things that I would say is, and I've been yelling and screaming and complaining, and they really had no chance. Even if they won this game to make it, I think they would have lost the Lions. I have to be honest, because I think we caught the Lions unaware. We used their weakness against them, Jared Goff. Like, we attacked Jared Goff in the middle of the field. Jared Goff was unprepared.
He's been playing really good though lately.
Right, he's gotten much better, and I think the Lions have figured out we got to hold this pocket. We got to do a much better job of protecting him and not letting anybody get around him. Because whenever he gets a little bit of pressure, he freaks out and sucks. And the Packers just sacked the crap out of him. Somehow Rashawn Gary had 3 sacks in that game or whatever, and nobody knows what. They never had a sack ever again for some reason. But so I don't know. So it's just that's all I'm gonna say is for us to, if that's the expectation, right? As Packer fans moving forward, right? We're pumped up about the future. If we're pumped up about the future, we're eventually going to see the Ravens, okay, next year. And to combat the Ravens, and if Justin Fields is still in our division, which he's not, but if he is, there's a fast guy. We're getting more Jalen Hurts, right? He'll be the Eagles. They had a really bad year this year. They look like crap. It might turn around. We really need to focus on the middle of the field on defense and get some guys who can play and make plays and are aggressive and can tackle. We can't afford to have Devondre Campbell and Savage and Owens. I mean, Owens is a nice guy, but good God. Come on. And Quay Walker's got to pick up his game.
Yep.
And maybe he can do it. He's got the athletic freakness, right?
Yep.
And if freaking McDuffie was just a freak instead of just being a regular guy who just is good, that would be awesome. But he's just a regular guy who's good.
Yeah.
But he's our best guy.
The
Like
best
him
tag.
and without
He's
him,
like the
and
best
without him,
tackler.
without him and Keyshawn, we would never have stopped anybody all year. Like they're the two best guys out of our back seven. You know, or back six, depending on what we were running. If we had three big guys and two, pass rushers, or if we had 2 and 2. But
Keyshawn's an interesting one since you bring him up.
I think we let him walk.
You do?
Yeah.
I mean,
Yes.
look, they were in some trouble, and he's like, "I'm taking this kick out. Let's go."
Yeah, but he hasn't done it all year. That's the first time he's done it all year.
I think they were holding him back and saying, "Don't take those kicks out," because
No, he still took him out. He still led the league in freaking return yards, and he had no big returns all year. He took every one back.
He had a
That's
couple.
why, and he made the Pro Bowl because of it, or the All Pro again.
He had a couple. He had a couple of
He ain't that
he
great.
had a couple like 50-yarders and
He
close
just
to
takes
that.
them out all the time.
But he took it out, and he's good in space. He's good at navigating and finding his way, and he's good in space.
I guess.
And holy crap! I mean,
I don't blame him for that fumble.
no, that play.
He's trying to make a play, and a guy came from behind, and thank
And
God
then
Eric
Eric
Wilson was
Wilson's
hustling.
like, holy that was an amazing play by Eric Wilson. Like,
No, he's hustling. And
Yeah.
he's a guy. He's a guy I would like to sign back because he's a solid
Yeah.
veteran who can lead the special teams, and he's not a ding dong.
he's pretty fast too.
See, but Nixon's already making $5. What was he? He signed a 1-year deal for $5 million right now.
$6 million, 1 year,
Okay.
$6 million deal.
Well, he made the freaking All Pro again.
But he
the
loves
Pro
Green
Bowl.
Bay. He also says how he really likes. He's like, because he was a guy that was bounced around a little bit, and he said how he really likes Green Bay. Now, other guys have said that too, and they got rid of him, so
Yeah.
they probably won't sign him back. I mean, Rasul said it just feels great here, and I don't know what it
Why do
is.
you gotta don't bring that up.
I like being here. I like being here. It just feels good here. That's what guys say, and then they probably don't care. But
All I know is this.
then you got other babies who whine and complain, and then you keep them around.
Yeah, if Goody drafted you in the first round, then he'll sign you.
Yeah.
But if he picked you up off the street, he don't care.
doesn't care.
They'll be here for when they're cheap, and then once they deserve a better contract, they'll get traded away like Rasul.
But I'd expect another draft with probably they might draft 5 defensive backs in this one.
Okay,
They might draft 3 corners and 2 safeties in this draft.
I think they'll draft 2 safeties in a corner for sure.
Well, they can't count on Stokes being back, and he's not good anyway. They don't know what the hell's going to go on with Jair. Valentine, if you watched his play, I'm sure you have plays where you can show it, and we'll do that another time because we've gone on a while, and I know you got more video. We can get to more video next show.
Yeah, I don't do it anymore today.
But like, I was like a lot of people. Maybe he's okay when he can play bump and run, but when he's playing and has to change direction, I mean, he just looked terrible. He was getting turned around. It's really slow changing direction. So when the receiver would break, he's like looping around. He's not making sharp cuts and breaks to go lateral. He just looked uncoordinated. And for a defensive back where you need to react, and be able to adjust to what the player's doing in front of you and what you're reading, if you can't do that quickly and be shifty and quick, like you're in trouble. And he's not the answer. So I was right about Eric Stokes. I'm telling you my evaluation of Valentine. I don't see him turning into anything. The Packers got to start over at corner again for the 1 millionth time. And I don't know when they're going to get it right. I really don't. I know it's a hard position to get, but I also know when you get some good ones on your team, you shouldn't let them walk.
You don't trade them away. I can tell you that.
You don't let them walk like you did with Casey Hayward and like you did with Micah Hyde and like you traded away with Rasul. Like when you have good players on your team in those spots that you struggle to find good players, keep the good players. You're not as smart as you think in evaluating players, especially on the defensive side of the ball, Brian Gutekunst, because you have swung and missed a bunch of times here.
It's almost like the Packers have always done that, though. Like, well, not always, but like since the 90s, since the Ron Wolf.
Oh, shit.
Must be a Doug Evans. They let him walk.
Yeah.
It's like, he was awesome. He saved the freaking season.
Was he a 6th round pick?
I don't know what he was.
Right? I think he was.
I don't know what he was.
Pick.
All I know is he wore number 33, and he freaking saved the team by getting a pick 6 against the Rams after they had a 3-game losing streak, and then they ended up making the playoffs and won the damn Super Bowl.
So the Packers' best in our lifetime, in our at least memory of guys, because I mean I remember a little bit of Mark Lee and those guys, but I don't know
Mark Lee.
that too much. But so you're talking about the Ron Wolf regime, and since then, these are the best corners that the Packers have had on their team that they've actually, other than Charles Woodson, where they got lucky to get him because of everything that went on with the Raiders.
Charles Woodson was the best for sure, but
Tremont Williams,
Yep.
who was an undrafted free agent.
Yeah.
Sam Shields, who was an undrafted free agent.
Yeah.
Doug Evans, who was a 6th round pick.
Micah Hyde,
who was a 5th round pick. Casey Hayward was, I think, a 4th or 3rd round pick. So that one was a little higher for them.
I think he was a 5th round pick too, wasn't he?
But he was the guy where they had drafted a different corner before him that same draft. So he wasn't their first corner they drafted that draft.
Rasul Douglas, who was a 3rd round pick, but they signed him off a practice squad.
Yeah.
After he'd been let go by 2 other teams.
Yeah. So, and they've drafted corners high many times.
Greg Newsome, Ahmad Carroll, Mike McKenzie. I guess. Well, Mike McKenzie was a 3rd round pick, but T-Buck.
The T-Buck Troy Vincent one was one of the.
What about Fred Vinson?
Fred Vinson, yeah, he was a 2nd rounder.
I know it was the same year they drafted Ahmad Carroll, Fred Vinson, and Mike McKenzie. Mike McKenzie was the best one out of the 3.
Yeah.
But I mean, every time they draft one high, Josh Jones, Josh Jackson, Jair, Kevin Crap. I mean Kevin King, sorry.
Kenny King.
Also Crap. Kenny King, yeah. Eric
Demarius,
Stokes.
Demarius
Dumb
ran
areas.
there.
Yeah, dumb areas.
And followed by what's Quentin Rollins.
Quentin Rollins. Whatever happened to those guys?
They didn't go anywhere. Like, think about that. How many of these high Packer draft picks that they let go did anything with anybody else?
I don't know, but
especially defensive players. What?
It's pretty sad. It's a pretty sad lineup of 1st and 2nd round corners in the last 30 years. Yeah. Now, the quarterbacks, of course, have been great. Well, not great, but talented, very talented, and Hall of Famers. And now we have one who's good. But
pretty good track record for receivers. They're pretty good at evaluating those.
Receivers are good. Offensive linemen usually halfway decent. But terrible at corners, terrible at linebackers, terrible at inside linebackers.
Outside linebackers too. They're not that great at. I mean,
what are you talking about?
They got Clay and stuff, but
Clay was good.
Yeah, Clay was good.
What about Brad Jones? Brad Jones was good.
No, Brad Jones. He was the
Frank Zombo. No. Eric Walden.
Those were like free agent scrap heap guys.
Oh, were they? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Bernardo
was
he was middle linebacker,
but he was like a
free agent
undrafted free agent too. Yeah, that's
he was drafted by somebody, but then he was a signing.
Oh, okay.
What about Wayne Simmons, Brian Williams?
I'd say Ron Wolf was a little better at linebackers than
he was.
Thompson and Gutekunst have been, but yeah, it's not great. It's not great. The Packers just need somebody else to draft defensive players.
Us. They need us.
What the hell?
I would have drafted Kingsley Enagbare. And he's good.
He's good. Yep.
I would have drafted Devontae Wyatt. And he's missed a lot of tackles, but he kicked the crap out of that guy in front of him on Saturday night. He just couldn't tackle anybody. God dang, Devontae Wyatt. Why? I actually like the Savage pick, too.
I like the Savage pick. Together? You did. You were high on Savage. That's the one miss.
I was wrong. I just liked because he was faster than shit. And I was like, holy cow, this guy's faster than crap. Look at him run around all crazy. And and he looked good when he played in college.
Yeah, Maryland.
Maryland, it had it was something over there, but he had a weird helmet. And he just running around all over the place. And I was like, ooh, I like this guy. And then he sucked. Couldn't tackle.
All I know, you know what? People got to start, the Packers got to start drafting dudes from Rutgers. Because Rutgers is putting out some football players lately.
You and your Bo Melton. Do you think Bo Melton's going to be back next year?
Bo Melton and Pacheco. Goddamn, Pacheco's a crazy
awesome.
Man.
Pacheco's awesome.
7th round draft pick out of Rutgers. Bo Melton, 7th round draft pick out of Rutgers. Like, how the hell? Pacheco's insane. Like that dude, he's not that big, and I get it. He's not that fast, and he runs weird, but he's really effective,
Yeah.
and he goes 100% every damn time. You know what Mike McCarthy would say? The only thing he's ever said is smart. He's just a football player.
Micah Hyde.
He's just
Mike
a football
Daniels.
player. Can we just draft some football players? Can we do that?
Mike McKenzie. Just draft guy's name, Mike.
Can we not draft? Can we not worry about drafting the greatest athletic score guys? Can we just draft some football players? Can we do
Football
that?
players. Nope, because it's Goody. He's got to draft all the athletic freaks
What the
who
fart?
can't play football, like Yash. When we went to freaking training camp the first 2 years ago,
He's
we
a
went,
beast.
and I saw Yash up close because we were offensive line right in front of us. I almost crapped my pants. I was like, "Good God, this guy looks like
Especially
a monster."
compared to all the other offensive linemen that
Yeah.
are kind of flabby and
He just looked like a freak of nature. I was just like, "Good God, this guy could like eat people and spit him out." But he's a classic. Looks like Tarzan, plays like Jane.
Aw, don't insult Jane like that.
Oh, sorry. And he's a great guy. I love
Yeah,
Yash. His
he's an
interviews are
awesome guy.
nice. He seems like a super smart guy.
Yep, smart,
Just
good guy.
not aggressive.
He's too
enough.
nice to play football.
And what's Colby Jones or whatever? He's just Yash 2.0.
Caleb Jones.
Caleb Jones, yeah. He's even
Caleb
bigger.
Jones.
He's even taller than Yash and freakier looking than Yash.
He's not in the top 5 Joneses of all time.
He isn't.
No, he didn't make the list.
Oh, Aaron Jones made the list. I
Aaron
think Josh
is
Jones
the
made the
best.
list.
Josh
He was
Jones
like
is
number
5.
6.
Number
Number 5,
five.
was he? Was he number 5?
Aaron Jones has to be back. That's one other thing we learned from the season. Aaron Jones.
James Jones is number 2.
James Jones is number 2. It's really good. Maybe James Jones should be, but no, he shouldn't be. He could be a wide receiver coach.
Yeah, I'd take a James Jones wide receiver coach.
Let's get some former players. Let's get some former Packers as coaches. Let's get James Jones, wide receiver coach. Let's get AJ Hogg, linebacker coach.
No!
Okay.
I'd rather have
Leroy,
Blake
Machines. Could be. He's
No.
smart.
I'd take Desmond Bishop.
Isn't Bishop? Okay.
Desmond Bishop was a good linebacker. 4th round pick, 5th round pick, somewhere in there.
Yeah. I don't know. I think we need it. I think we need some tougher coaches and to make tougher players because this defense can't play like soft and putsy anymore. And that I've said it probably more times than anybody wants to hear. But the thing that drove me absolutely bonkers is all of the. If you have all this talent on defense, then why are you playing so passive and scared? It doesn't make any sense at all. Attack the other team. Be like, look, we've got all these great resources and tough, skill on defense. We're gonna come at you, and you got to deal with us. Not like we're gonna be scared and stuffed and play like wussies. What the hell's that? That's how you play when you got no talent on defense.
Yeah.
When you're supposed to have all this talent, then go get them, man. Go get them. Impose your will. But with no tough guys, it doesn't help.
All right, let's
Doesn't
talk
get-
about who do you think's going to win this weekend? Lions and 49ers in Sandy Franny, and the Baltimore Raven monstrosity against the Chiefs, who are kind of look like they're on their last leg here, barely
Really
squeezed past the Bills.
I really wanted the Chiefs to lose. I really wanted Bills and
Well,
Lions.
yeah.
But I will say, watching most of that game, Rasul didn't play very well in this.
He was
last
hurt.
game. He was hurt.
He didn't play the week before. He didn't play at all. He just wanted to get in the game. He said he was.
Oh, kind of like Jair when he rolled his ankle and then came out and then was going to try to come back in the game, even though he had to come out for a play because he came off.
Yeah,
'cause he was so hurt.
What an idiot!
And they had to hold him back. No, you can't go back on the field, you dumb. Does he know any rules of
No,
football?
he doesn't know anything.
All right, sorry.
You're stupid.
You're trying to go to this games.
Yeah, I'm trying to get.
I'm
I'm
still
getting off
pissed
it.
about
Don't
Jay.
stop making me mad.
I
Dang
gotta.
it, I already got that all out of me
Look,
earlier. I don't want
I
to
have
get mad again.
watched. I have watched what this means to a bunch of the Lions players who've been around on garbage teams,
Yeah,
and what it means to the Lions fans who sat there and
I hope they win.
they have to do it.
I hope they win. I think they're going to get just
I-
bulldozed by the Ravens.
I hope
But-
Debo can't be back, and that'll help him out a lot. If Debo can't be
No,
in
I
the
hope
game.
Debo's back. I hope they beat him fair and square and just knock
Their
the
defense
socks out
is
of him.
not very good, though. It's not. It's still not good.
Doesn't matter. They got freaking Gibbs and freaking St. Brown and
St.
freaking
Brown's
my
good.
guy Laporta and
Laporta's playing good. You know,
Jameson
Frank
Williams. If he actually would catch a ball, he'd be like he's a freaking scarier
yeah,
than crap because he's so damn fast.
Ragnow is the center, right?
Yeah.
He's from Minnesota.
Oh,
Did you
yeah?
know that?
I didn't know.
Yeah, he's from Minnesota, and then played in Arkansas, which is interesting. And then he was a. Do you know that he was the number 20 pick of the 2018 NFL draft?
Whoa.
Just a couple of picks after Jair.
Whoa.
Just think if we had drafted that guy, we could have had a good center.
Yeah,
this
but we
whole
had
time.
Lindsley though.
Yeah, we could have moved on from him at that point. That's fine. They were ready to
know,
move
but-
on from him the year later.
I know.
But anyway, he was all beat up and played through some stuff. Those guys I want on my team, they're going to play through some stuff. If you can play, then play. The Lions have to do it. I think. I mean, look, the 49ers did not look very good against the Packers.
No, but they might have got the rust off against the Packers, and now they're ready to go.
I don't know. I think they have some weaknesses inside their offensive line that can be exploited. And I hope the Lions figure out how to exploit it. And then the Lions offense looks pretty good. Their O line should be able to hold up pretty good. I mean, Zach Tom was handling freaking Bosa.
Yeah.
So it wasn't until Tom got out that it really caused our offensive line problems.
And that was weird too, because he was in a game, and then all of a sudden they're like, "Nope, we got to take him out."
He must have got hit. Yeah, he must have got hit in the head at some point, and then he's apparently was fine. But I bet one of the 49ers pointed it out, and then they were like, I had to pull him out of the game.
I don't know, but it sucked. It sucked.
Yeah,
that's all I know.
it did suck because dudes get hit in the helmet all the time.
I know.
And they don't get taken out.
Aaron Jones got hit in the helmet all the time. Got his face.
They just knew that it was probably Bosa. It's probably Bosa that told them because freaking he was getting his ass kicked by Zach Tom.
Yeah. Nick Bosa makes the most money of any non-quarterback in the NFL right now.
Yeah, and he's not. Even
and how much? What kind of an impact did he have in that game? Not much.
Not much at all. Not until he got to go against soft, squishy Yash.
I
still didn't do that much until
when is the I don't understand the NFL.
I don't either. The edge players, I don't get it.
Edge players don't make that much of an impact in the game. Jair only had like 2 or 3 targets toward him. Yeah. And yet it's corners and outside linebackers.
I don't get it.
Rushers that make all the money on defense, even though it's your middle linebackers, your defensive linemen, your safeties that make all the plays.
Yeah.
They're the ones that should be paid.
Right. 100% agree. I do not understand how a player that gets maybe 1 sack a game, averages 1 sack a game, and
and it's considered good. Like that's considered good to get 1 sack a game.
Oh, that's not even good. That's great.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah.
And you also know that those sacks didn't go evenly. It wasn't like 1 sack each game. They had like 3 in one game, or maybe like
Sean Gary.
Right. 6 in 2 games or something like that against crappy offensive
linemen. Yeah.
So
they come in bunches, Jay. Sacks come in bunches.
Yeah, it's true.
No, it's not true. They don't come in bunches. They come because you're playing against a guy who sucks. That's why they happen. It's not because
that's why they come in bunches.
When they say that, it's the same as when they like, oh, this running back gets better as the game goes on. No, he doesn't. The defense got tired and he just kept going.
That's why turnovers come in bunches too, because they come when you're playing bad teams or bad quarterbacks or whatever. Anyway, what I wanted to get at is basically when you look at it, I don't understand either. Because corners, how many? You're saying a guy who maybe like a great season would be if they had 1 pass defend every game.
Oh, that'd be insane.
Most of these guys have like 13, 14 passes defended. They might get a couple of interceptions. And then they might have the ones who don't like to get in their nose in there and tackle everybody like Rasul and stuff. They might have 50 some tackles. So out of 17 games, a guy who has 50 some tackles, 14 passes defended, and 3 or 4 interceptions, and he's awesome. What kind of impact is that on the team, on the season, on the game?
Not much of an impact.
No,
I don't understand.
And outside linebackers who have they're not even saying 17 sacks is a lot. They would be like, if you got like 13, 14 sacks, wow, he's amazing. And then they might have 40 some tackles, 30 some, 40 some tackles, and that's pretty much it. Maybe they got a couple of forced fumbles or something like that. And that's a defensive player of the year candidate.
Look how we took freaking Micah Parsons out of the game. He did nothing.
Yeah.
Like I talked about when I watched that Seahawks Dallas game.
Yeah.
Micah Parsons did nothing the entire game because they just got the ball out of their hands so fast that he was useless.
Yep.
And then he made one play at the very end, and they were like, "Oh, Micah Parsons saved the game just like he always does." I'm like, he didn't do shit all game.
Yep.
And that guy, you want to pay him? You know, he's supposed to be the best player in the league at defense. Makes no sense. I mean, TJ Watt. I'll say this: TJ Watt makes plays.
Yep.
He's different than Bosa and Parsons because he'll jump up and like knock stuff away. He tackles good in the running game. He does get pressure
sometimes.
He covers. Yeah, he's crazy. That guy's good. But the rest of them, they're not worth it.
No. I was looking at TJ Watt's stuff, and I'm like, and they were saying, "Oh, Myles Garrett's kind of the odds-on favorite for Defensive Player of the Year." I was looking at his stuff, and I'm like, "What? For making what? 35 tackles and what?" I'm like, TJ Watt has had way more impact than him and made way more plays than him. I don't get it. It's weird to me. I think you do find, Ben, that the teams that invest in and value the guys in the middle of the field are the ones that end up being the best defenses and the ones that win.
Yeah.
So
I mean, what's as great as TJ Watt is, Steelers one and done.
Yeah.
Right? Got knocked out of the playoffs right away.
Yeah.
Like Dallas, we freaking made them look like chumps.
Right.
I mean,
yeah, the Ravens.
The Ravens are freaky.
Ravens
49ers are freaky.
Invested a lot in their inside linebackers and their safeties and their guys in the middle of the field.
Yeah. And actually the Lions, since they got Gardner Johnson back, they had him and Branch roaming around in the middle there. Those guys are crazy.
Campbell's playing a lot. They got Anzalone who runs around, does stuff.
Anzalone's crazy, yeah.
And then
they got
a couple of big guys in the middle too that do some stuff on their D line. So, and yeah, they got Hutchinson gets a lot of the attention, and he's actually probably more solid than a lot of the edge guys.
And look at the Chiefs with Nick Bolton and Rudy Gay, or not Rudy Gay, whatever his name is, Gay, the other guy, those two inside linebackers.
Yeah. Those
two guys are awesome.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and the Chiefs defense is like their strength right now. It's better than their offense is.
Mm-hmm.
And it's because of guys like that. Because they targeted, those are guys I looked at in the draft, right? Logan Wilson with the Bengals. Like, we could have had him.
Yeah.
I liked all those guys. Nick Bolton, Gay, Logan Wilson. They were all second, third round picks. And we took Josh Myers and shit like that. Like, I don't know. It's just
Rick says splash plays get you the money and they get you the attention. You make a Jair knows it too. You make one splash play in the game, and
at least saying that good corners don't get targeted, and that's why they don't get as many. Well, sometimes
like the elite ones, but we haven't had any of those for quite a while. Jair, don't believe the myth, as I pointed out again, that Jair doesn't get targeted. He gets targeted quite a bit. Actually, his target rate for this season was up there quite a bit too for the amount of snaps he played.
And Rasul got targeted a lot because people were dumb, and he got a whole bunch of picks and pass defense because they're dumb.
Yep. And then people are like, damn, we didn't want to throw at him. So the last couple of years, he hasn't gotten as many opportunities.
Yeah. All right.
But he still made tackles.
I gotta go.
It is weird. I don't understand that part of the NFL either. I don't understand why people keep drafting those guys high and why they pay them all the money. But that's what they do. But I'd rather have
Aaron Jones. The Packers do.
I'd rather have Aaron Jones back because he's an impact player. And Matt LaFleur said it. At least he knows it. Hopefully Goody knows it too.
I think I don't know about his hands. I know everybody keeps saying he's a great receiver. I don't think he's a great receiver. I think he's great when he has the ball in his hand and he makes plays after he catches it. But
yeah.
Like that first pass, it was a little hot and a little out of the way, but Jones could have had it. That one flip to the back where he kind of mishandled and Love kind of got his Josh Myers stepped on Love's foot. Then he pitched it kind of weird. Like it hit Jones in the hands.
Yeah, he
should have had that.
Yeah, for sure.
Now, it didn't matter because they got the first down on that anyways.
Yeah.
I can't remember I don't know if it was a penalty or if it was just awesome play where they got down there, but somehow they got the first down. It didn't matter. They still, moved the ball on that play after that play. But I just think Aaron Jones, his best ability is him getting the ball in space or him getting the ball in his hands. And I know he's had a couple awesome catches downfield and stuff, but he's really not that natural of a catcher. And
Mhm.
Love is not that accurate. So if you have a guy who's not that accurate with a guy who's really not that natural of a catcher, I would like to see less targets to Aaron Jones in the passing game if he does come back next year.
He's got to
And,
come back.
and more just, I don't know if he has to come back.
They got to have him back.
His hit is big, and they only
I
have
know.
one more year to work with because they've already freaking done the whole ghost year thing for 5 years in the future. So there's only one more ghost year to work with. So it's only going to lower his cap a little bit based on the contract he has at this point.
They need him back for one more year while they figure
Uh.
out how to find the next dynamic running back because they don't have it right now.
They got Jordan Love, man. He's the best. They don't need a running back.
They gotta find some dynamic running backs.
But it's just Jordan Love's so good. We got to pay him $50 million a year, man.
Jordan Love's fine. You do not need to pay him $50 million. You can let him earn it a little bit more.
No. You got to
And
pay him
then-
right now. Right now.
Oh, you don't.
He should be
No.
getting paid right now. It's Jordan Love, dude. Jordan
No.
Love, dude.
No.
Come on, Jordan Love, dude. He's so good.
And I will say this after watching the game: the offense is a bunch of young guys. They have progressed. They are the strength of the team.
They are.
It's time for a complete youth movement on the other side of the ball too.
Yeah.
These old guys got to go. The old guys that make too much money and underperform, see you later. Get out.
Carl Brooks is our best defensive player on the field.
Oh, Brooks is awesome. TJ Slayton, give me
TJ
that
Slayton.
guy. Quay is fine. He's got to get his edge back. Maybe they got to whatever they did, like hypnotize him to take his edge away so he wouldn't overreact to getting pushed. They got to give it back to him this offseason.
I don't know.
I feel like he lost some aggressiveness because of that, or something happened. I don't know what happened. And then they gotta, but let's get young. Let's get. I mean, Campbell, get out of here.
Bye.
Kenny Clark just played probably his best game, but I don't know.
Yeah,
He's getting into the last year of his deal too. So
he's making a lot of money next year.
yeah.
His cap hit is huge. Like it's huge next year.
Yeah. So he might have to go too. And then just
They'll
be young.
probably just restructure it and ghost year it, and then it'll be fine.
Let's get young. Preston, see you later, man.
Yeah.
Draft
All right.
some dudes. All right.
Let's go Lions.
Go Lions. They got to do it. And
Your
I'm
ass whipped
guessing-
by the Ravens in the Super Bowl.
I definitely don't want to see the Chiefs in the Super Bowl again. So
I don't need it. I'm sick of them.
let's have the Ravens win.
I'm sick of freaking Taylor Swift everywhere. Good God.
Ravens
Can we
Lions.
stop it with this Taylor Swift crap?
Hey, she's everywhere, man.
I'm sick of her. I don't want to see her anywhere anymore. I'm done.
Mm,
Travis Kelce and even Jason Kelce. Jason Kelce was like man of the most sexiest man of the year or something.
what? No,
Yes.
No, he wasn't.
I mean, it was pathetic when they were making like some goofball, like Paul Rudd and all these other goofballs. But when they put Jason Kelce on the cover, now they're just pandering to the,
remember,
the
remember one of the people that popped on our show once and then said that I look like Paul Rudd?
Yeah, but you don't.
Well, I was like, I look like sexiest man of the year. Pretty good.
Yeah, but that was when they really were stretching. That was when they already gave it to Hugh Jackman 3 times.
Rick points out he gives hope to us husky lads.
Yeah, but you can't grow a beard, Rick. That's the whole point. Was he had that crazy beard? You don't have a beard. Can you even grow a beard, Rick?
Oh, probably not. But I don't. I also don't understand these guys with these giant beards that wear the chin straps and stuff. That drive me
know.
crazy. I don't know how they do it.
I don't know how to do it. Isaiah McDuffie does it.
Yeah, God.
Bald head,
He's-
giant beard.
He just got like a whole face full of hair. It's not. It's more. It's just like hair.
That's because he's bald on top. He's like, I gotta have hair somewhere,
Dang.
or I look like a baby.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. We will. We're not going to do a show Friday, right? Or
Hell
are we
no.
going to?
I don't
All
want
right,
to do
we're not doing a show Friday. We'll do a show next week, guys. Enjoy the games this weekend. We will have some more film been put together to digest as we face the truth as Packer fans.
If we hire like a defense coordinator, we'll probably do an emergency show that night or something.
Urgency. Okay.
To talk about it. Obviously.
Get our ducks in a row.
We can't just not go. We're a Packer show for God's sake. Now
Yeah,
we're not.
You say all the time how you're sick of doing the show. You don't want to do it anymore.
It's not that I'm sick of doing the show. I'm just sick of. Here's the thing.
What are you sick of? Tell
There's
me.
95,000 Packer shows out there.
Yeah, but ours is pretty good.
I know, but ours, we don't talk about all the same crap as they do. And that's why I'm like, and we only get like 3 views or whatever. And all these other guys are just like, hey, the Packers, they fired Joe Bear today. Hey, everybody, blah, blah. Let's talk about all the different defense coordinators we possibly could have. Why? Who cares? Wait until they hire the guy and then talk about that guy. Why speculate about all these different guys? I know. You need content and everybody will watch it and blah, blah, floop. I don't care. I want to wait until we see who it is. I just hope whoever it is, he's good.
Clean house.
Number 1. Number 2, he can bring in his guys.
Yeah.
If they make it a stipulation where they have to keep the guys that are still under contract now, we'll get some scrub.
Yeah.
We'll get some scrub, and then it's going to be the same crap, and I don't want that. I'll say this. Mark Tulcher had a crazy idea today on the radio, and I agree. It was crazy, but it'd be pretty cool. He had Rex Ryan with Jim Leonard coming in as like assistant defense coordinator. And then, once Rex gets too crazy that they can't handle him anymore, then, Jim Leonard moves up defense coordinator. I was like, because he was saying that we need a guy like Rex to come in there and just start going crazy. And Jim Leonard has never been in the NFL yet. Yeah, he's been defense coordinator for the Badgers and all that, but he hasn't been a defense coordinator in the NFL. So he kind of wanted to give him a little bit. I know he was offered the job 3 years ago and turned it down and all this stuff, and everybody's freaking out about that. I don't know. I would like Jim Leonard, but I think that's about it. Evero, I don't think the Panthers are letting him go. Sounds like they haven't let him have an interview with us, or they're not going to. Only for a head coaching job. So why talk about it? Wait till it happens. We'll talk about the guy then. And, hopefully he'll be able to make decisions and stuff. And whoever they get as strength and conditioning coach, hopefully he understands how a hamstring works. Because apparently nobody else knows how a hamstring works on this team. Because we're always missing guys to hamstring injuries. Aaron Jones, Watson, freaking stupid Stokes. Fix the hamstrings.
Got to do some different stretches or something. I don't know what they do, but it doesn't make any sense.
It don't work, whatever it is.
Yeah. I agree with that. I think, don't forget also that we have we'll have to do our awards show sometime. Maybe not next week. We'll do it a couple weeks. We'll give us a little time to get through our full season evaluations. We'll do it in the week between the championship games and the Super Bowl. That's when we're going to do our Packer Awards.
You know who won all the awards last year?
Who?
Aaron Jones and Rasul Douglas.
Yeah, they're pretty good.
I think those guys won all the awards last year. And Zach Tom. Guess what? This year it's going to be Aaron Jones, Zach Tom, and Rasul Douglas. Even though he's not on the team anymore, he's still the best.
Some other guys. Got some rookie awards. We have to do some extra rookie awards.
No, just one rookie
so
of the
many
year.
Rookies.
No,
dang.
One rookie of the year. Who's the rookie of the year?
One rookie. Damn.
Last year, Zach Tom was rookie of the year.
Get some overcomers.
He was also offensive player of the year, or offensive lineman of the year. Zach Tom.
Zach Tom.
Remember, Josiah DeGuara won Silent but Deadly of the year last year. He ain't gonna win it this year.
Who would be the silent but deadly player this year? Woo! Got some good candidates.
I'll have to figure it out.
All right. We'll get to that the week between.
Oh, Lee says that we're great. You're great, Lee.
What did he say? Oh,
he says it was a great season hanging out with us.
It's been a great season watching not only Packers, but you guys.
It's been a tough year, a tough season. We had a good run in the middle there where it sucked, and and the team sucked.
Mm-hmm.
Then they kind of came around and helped bring our spirits up, and it helped us out.
I think that was hard for me.
Oh, yeah.
This season, because I kind of felt like if some magical crap was going to happen, that it was going to be, kind of before mom in a way, or we could look at it that way. But that didn't ultimately isn't how it played out. So,
well, it was kind of magical though.
Yeah,
it's like
true.
The team. It's really weird. Like the team kind of followed us when we were down. The team was way down. October was bad, and then Thanksgiving kind of sparked some stuff. And yeah, we had a little Tommy DeVito in there, but we made the playoffs, kicked the crap out of the Cowboys, which was awesome. And then blew a shot at the 49ers again.
Mom would have hated that.
Yeah. So it's been a
Mom also would have been hard on Anders all year.
Oh gosh, Mason Crosby's her favorite, so she would have.
Yeah.
Sarah made up for that for you.
Yep.
I don't know how many times, and I didn't even talk to Sarah that much, but every time I talked to her, she said how much Anders Carlson sucks, and I was like, whoa, whoa, whoa. That's all we heard about. Our sister hates Anders Carlson.
And remember, going into the season, Mom wasn't sold on Jordan Love. Would she have been sold on him this year? I don't know. Maybe.
I think she'd be like me. I think
Okay.
she'd be like, why are we crowning this guy already?
Jury's still out.
Yeah. Especially after that play.
Yeah.
Because she knew she was one of the people who, well, probably because she listened to us, but she would talk smack about Favre, and people would be like, what? Favre is the best. And Mom would be like, he sucks. He does this and this and this and this and this. And people would be like, what are you talking about? He's like, my boy said that Favre sucks, and I trust him. It wasn't that he sucked. It's just he did dumb crap.
Way too much. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. But
Anyway.
Yeah. Good. It was an interesting year. It was an experience. I still say 1989 was the best Packer fandom of all time. And the reason why is because the last game they won. They didn't make the playoffs. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true.
That's the one thing about 89 is I think that's the reason why it always sticks with me is because it was just it ended on a high note. Packers won. They won 10 games. They squeaked out a bunch of crazy victories. They beat the Bears for the first time in a million years.
Yeah.
And the last game was a win. All they needed was the stupid Vikings to lose to the Bengals on Monday Night Football, and they would have made the playoffs. But the freaking Bengals couldn't hold up their end of the bargain. And yeah, and ever since then, all the great seasons have ended in a playoff loss that weren't Super Bowls. Obviously, Super Bowls are great, but so still can't match the '89 Magic Man season for me. But it was a fun season, up and down, to at least take your mind off of stuff that sucks. So they did a good job of that. And Aaron Jones came back and had an awesome bunch of freaking 100-yard games in a row at the end to really show us, hey, guess what? I'm still Aaron Jones. And please give me the 20 carries game instead of sharing the load with other guys who suck. Now, I understand you want to try to save them, but I don't know. Can you imagine if you would just let Aaron Jones go? How awesome he would. How many yards would this guy have right now if he wasn't sharing the load all those years?
I don't know.
He'd probably be beat up and not playing anymore, but still, he would.
Maybe. Yeah,
Who knows?
probably.
Okay, I'm sorry I keep talking. Let's go. I gotta go.
All right. Appreciate you guys. Enjoy the weekend. And thanks for a fun season to all you as well. Thanks to the Packers and bright spots ahead for sure. We'll talk more next week. See ya.